Good morning. Good morning.
Building relationships is at the heart of what I do.
All right. So we can see just below we got support 868.20, 68.10, just overhead 68.40, 68.50. Not expecting a whole lot today. Maybe a doji. New York Fangs are mixed. Futures fading from the best levels of the morning session. All right, we continue to fade a bit. Let's see what's going on here. Oracle down again. It looks like Oracle's building a base going into earnings. Let's see. Bitcoin looking better. Bitcoin. Okay. Futures continue to fade. SPY pulling back inside of Wednesday's wick. The upper part of Wednesday's range. NASDAQ 100, about 50% are green, advancing. Only about 10 stocks, not even that, 7 stocks are red. The rest are unchanged. Strategy is building, MicroStrategy building. It's at the top of the NASDAQ. Bitcoin looks good. Bitcoin stocks look good.
So that's something to keep an eye on, and silver in and of itself looks like a great investment. Now, again, I always have to emphasize when you buy commodities, you have to look at them very speculatively. They can go parabolic, but you have to be able to take profits and trail up stocks. Secondly, dollar. Right now, the dollar trying to get over 100. It's back down under. If it breaks down, we're looking at DXY 99. That too can be very bullish for commodities. And third,
futures fading.
Is sugar. And sugar is something that I watch because it really is a great reflection of distress. particularly consumer.
Did I take Tesla off on Friday? I think I did. Wednesday? TSA. Yes, I did. Good. All right. So I'll buy some Tesla on the dip, most likely. Tesla. Okay, we're inside of Wednesday's price action. Tesla. 22. Let me put a pot of coffee on. I'll be right back. So that's another area. And now let's branch out from sugar to other foods. So we have soybean, corn, wheat. All of that can be seen if you look at BDA as the ETF. And that too looks like it's trying to find a bottom. So it's very possible with not only policy, but a potential new Fed chair and these inflationary indicators I just mentioned, that these hard assets that have been so undervalued compared to the market could really have a nice run.
Something else I know you're watching is India as a preferred emerging market, and I couldn't help but notice that GDP for the quarter ended September in India was up 8.2%. That was, I believe, better than all economists pretty much that at least Bloomberg surveyed had estimated. So what's the case for India, especially on a relative basis to other emerging markets?
Right, and it's definitely undervalued if you look at some of the other emerging markets. Well, there's really basically three things. Number one is India is a big holder of gold, particularly the residents of India hold a lot of gold. That gold is a huge cultural phenomenon in India, so that's number one. So they've got some money in their pocket. Number two is in terms of the tariffs and the relationship they have with the Trump administration, that has been positive. And third, I just read that in terms of their AI and their race to AI technology, they're making great strides. So all of that gives us a fundamental reason. From the actual chart, I like to look at INDA. It has the most liquidity. It tends to jump around a little bit, and it also tends to gap. But right now, it looks like it's holding 54. If we can really keep that floor there and get through 56, I see no reason why this can't go much higher as we get into next year.
And then finally, I want to get to at least one of your picks while we have time. The one that stands out to me is Palantir, because this is such, like, people call, I guess you could call it a battleground stock, right? It's one that people like talking about because of its valuation. Certainly, the CEO has been very outspoken on trying to back down critics on it, especially something like Charts. What is Palantir telling you?
Well, that had a really massive correction as well. Massive. I mean, you look at this chart and it looks a little bit different, but nonetheless, from that correction that we saw, yeah, if you go back to the beginning of November there and you see what happened this, actually the beginning of this week, that correction was very compelling. And as it folds, it held around 160. It did look like some buying coming in. I like when you can buy a big giant like Palantir and have a limited risk. And that's exactly what you have right now. I don't know if I want to stick around under 160, but I don't see any reason why this thing can continue. And let's face it, cybersecurity is definitely a trend that's not going away.
Yeah, no, that is most definitely the case. Mitch, you're going to stand by once again. We're going to get more of you in opening bid in just a moment. Thank you so much. Good to talk to you. And as I mentioned, coming up on Yahoo Finance will be Michelle Schneider. We'll also be Brent Duffy, who's in best mode today.
Oh, this is a luxury vest, Julie. I'm just in a holiday mode. Let me ask you, I guess while I have you, Julie, I know I'm going to set up the show, but I was just playing Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas. Is it too early? Our producer suggested I might be a little early with this.
Christmas music?
Yeah, Christmas music. As soon as Santa comes out for the Macy's Day Parade, I'm in holiday mode. I'm all about Christmas as soon as I see Santa.
Green light. My husband's been trying to play it since Halloween. That, no.
Oh, I always loved Howie. He's a man. He's a man.
Thanksgiving, you get my full blessing.
All right, well, we're going to keep the retail chat going. I have retail OG Mickey Drexler in the house. It wouldn't be a Black Friday for me without talking to Mickey on all things retail. And Julie, as you know, the deals are out there in some places this year.
Yes, they are. I'll be looking for them during the break.
You like the best, right? That's just cool. Right, good.
I do like the best. Was it a present? Was it a self-gift?
It's self-gift, yeah.
Of course. All right. That's it for the morning brief. Bob has got you now.
HODL.
My little miracle is Beckett. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. You never think it's going to be you. All you can think of is, the kid's not going to live. St. Jude, they saved Beckett's life. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. And St. Jude doesn't bill us for any of it. It's a blessing. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated.
You can help save the lives of children by supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
People that donate are giving us a chance to live.
All right, let's get ready. We got 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Had to make the coffee.
MSTX. HODL.
Okay, let's see.
RIOT.
Okay.
Nuveen, invest like the future is watching.
Teacher.
The opening bell is brought to you by Nuveen. Invest like the future is watching.
All right, let's get ready. Probably buy some Tesla on a dip, provided we get some volume, of course. Michael Santoli's on. I like Santoli. Okay, let's get ready to go. Got about 25 seconds, 24 seconds to go. Okay, we lost a few advancing stocks on the NASDAQ 100. MicroStrategy still leading, followed by Micron, Intel, Lulu, and Palantir. And we're open. Okay, Palantir, nice pop on Palantir. Micron, MSTR, Amazon. Okay, looks good. Looks good. Looks good. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm your host, Cousin Benny, coming to you from theclosingprint.com. It is Friday, post-Turkey Day. Our turkey was really good this time. I didn't touch it, which is usually pretty good turkey. But this one was really moist from the farm. All right, we're watching Tesla here. Tesla getting bought. Tesla dip buyers. Okay, Palantir pop in. Tesla's going. Wow, nice move on Tesla. All right, we should be bouncing right at support, right? Okay, we bounced right at support. You can see this position just came off. Okay, they closed that position and see if we bounce off of that close. Okay, they closed this position, positive gamma support. Okay, they're probably selling puts down there and buying calls. Result in positive gamma, we get a nice little bounce. Okay, I'm not doing anything in the first few minutes. Let's see what happens here. If we get a nice trend, it'd be nice to see. Tesla's still going. There goes Google popping now. Google going now. Google's going.
that it's not a huge mover within the S&P 500. Just the aggregate discretionary piece of it. That if you get rid of Amazon and Tesla, so I think it's okay on that side of things. And what you are left with this time of year always is it's a flow-based bullish case, right? It's like we got pretty much all the earnings we're going to get. The Fed's going to shut up today because it's a blackout period, and we kind of know where we're going through the end of the year. And absent that, everybody's bull case is, well, you know, seasonal.
Okay. Let's see a lot of these penny stocks going here. They're watching KTTA. Do you know how to trade? Do you know how to trade a penny stock? Not a trick question. Do you know how to trade a penny stock? Okay. So listen up. If you don't know how to trade a penny stock, I'm going to show you really quick here. Okay. The first thing you want to be looking for is you're going to enable VWAP. Okay. Here's VWAP. Okay. So pre-market, if you had been watching KTTA, it bounced right on VWAP and volume picked up and MACD was bullish. That's it. All you need to do is pay attention to VWAP, price action. You want to be buying dips. In this case, you can't see it. Well, let me enable pre-market. Pre-market, you'll see it. Okay. Pre-market, extended hours. This new interface is messing with me. All right, so you can see right here, pre-market, we bounce, we pull back to VWAP after we push above it right there. Okay, volume picks up, MACD turns up and bullish. That's all you need to pay attention to. When MACD starts to peak and turn down, that's when you want to take profits. Okay, with these, I can tell you that they're moving. I just can't tell you how to trade it unless you listen to what I'm telling you here. Okay, so let's say this. Let's say VWAP turns back down. We pull back to VWAP. Volume picks up. Is that a trade? Only if MACD turns back up. All right. So you have to have those three conditions. You have to have VWAP enabled. Price needs to pull back. Volume needs to pick up. That's 2. Number 3 is MACD needs to be bullish. That's it in a nutshell. You sell when MACD peaks. See that right there? Over here on the left. MACD starts to peak. You get out. That's it. So let's see. SMX, this is one from Friday, or Wednesday rather. Okay, this was trading on Wednesday at these $5-6 levels. Right? I got out of this way too early. But if you're going to trade these, you got to understand how to do it. Okay. All right. So let's look at, see VWAP, how it's turning down right now. I'd be taking some profits. I'd be taking profits. Below VWAP, RSI is turning down too. I'm not really that concerned about RSI. Mostly MACD, volume, and what VWAP is telling you. Okay. KTTA. We'll get back to regular stocks here. Just want to point these out. KTTA, is that halted? That got halted. Okay. All right. So that's one I posted pre-market. One more time. Enable VWAP. Use a 1-minute chart. Price needs to be above. If it's above, wait for it to pull back to VWAP. Once it does, once you see a bounce, watch for volume to pick up and for MACD to be positive. If MACD is turned down, any of these conditions are different, you don't take the trade. If we come back to VWAP and MACD is turned down, you don't take the trade. You wait till VWAP turns back up. You see that right there? At $1.18, $1.15. Okay, we got back above VWAP. Markets took off. All right, Netflix is on the move. Netflix. Okay, Netflix. MACD looks good here. MACD, RSI rising above VWAP. Let's just go to the daily. Coming off. All right, so Oracle, shifting gears here. Oracle. Hopefully this base is down here. We got earnings coming up. Okay. Oracle's my worst position. It's a longer term position, but they keep talking about Oracle's debt issues. I think it's HSBC or something, talking about Oracle's debt issue. There goes futures. Futures on the move. All right, if you want to trade 0-day, okay, let's take a look at, okay, 0-day looks like VWAP is up and to the right. All right, I'm going to try S&P early. I don't advise doing it. but I'm going to do it anyway. SPX, because the likelihood of getting stopped out pretty quick is pretty high. But hedge flows are turning up and prices rising pretty rapidly here. Okay. All right. TOS is acting really weird right now. Okay. Let me go to a 40 delta. 40 deltas are $12. Okay. Let's see what we get going here. Send that to my active trader window. 68. What is that? Is that morning? That AM? S&P. All right. Let's see. Okay, S&P watch. Okay, Tesla, nice bounce on Tesla. I took that off either Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. But nice bounce on Tesla. Palantir just dropped off. They sold into strength. Bitcoin starting to see some profit taking. Bitcoin. Okay. Tesla. All right. So that looked like short covering right there. Okay, that quick move to the upside. Watch, that's probably short covering. I'm your host, Cousin Vinny, coming to you from theclosingprint.com. I hope you had a good turkey day. It is Friday, the 28th. We're 9 minutes into the trading day. SMX. Okay, just watch MACD's turned down. Volume's picking up. Okay, we're just below VWAP. If we get a nice little bounce here, maybe these people come back in. Watch the MACD turn up real quick. Okay, let's see what IWM is doing. IWM. Okay, so small range at the moment. Doji. Small range, IWM. Did we go for 250? Nice round number. Okay, so let's see. KTTA looks like it's going to keep rising here. KTTA. It's a therapeutics, biotech. Those have been doing really well.
A little bit, but it's still down this month and down more than 8, almost 9% for the year. So the gold trade could be about 80 currencies maybe.
And we'll see, of the remaining catalyst this year might be a new Fed chair if we get it by Christmas. True. As Besson suggested earlier in the week. We talked about breadth and the surge of breadth. I wonder if you think the XLV on the year to date is one of the most interesting. It's a fascinating chart. Yeah, I mean, it so rarely seems to happen that everybody can look at a very major sector of the market and everyone can agree.
Okay, back to hedge flows. Okay, nothing. All right, so I didn't jump in there. Thinkorswim's acting weird. Okay, let me get that trade window open. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, 6,800 is support.
So I do think it is much more about a very big, non-correlated with tech sector that was under-owned, and all of a sudden starts to rip. And there's a lot of high quality companies. So in general, quality's been left behind by, AI enthusiasm. If you look at the NASDAQ 100 relative to high quality segment of the S&P, which I think we may have there, it just lifted off a few months ago. Whereas before, tech was kind of overlapping.
Okay, hedge flows continue to drift lower. All right, let's see IWM. IWM.
How much money is crowded in a short period of time. So we'll see if that maybe means a hangover to next year. But right now,
Let's go take a look at IWM.
that's one of the ways the market's trying to rebalance itself.
Guys, speaking of M&A, I did just want to mention Warner Brothers Discovery one more time this week because it will be a busy weekend for the companies that are bidding for that company.
What's going on here?
Netflix,
I think they're having issues over at.
and of course Paramount, which started this all
There we
off.
go. There we
Essentially, it
go.
was an unsolicited bid. They've already
All right, so we want to see all these turn up,
coming back.
especially the blue. The blue is put selling. If it's turning up, it's put selling. If it's turned down, it's put buying. I know it's kind of doesn't make sense, but that's the way it's set up. Okay. All right, so here goes. S&P starting to move. I like the idea of IWM. What's IWM going to do today? We got calls being bought. What's Dell doing? Dell. Dell. Okay, I sold an iron condor on Dell. I put it on the spreads channel on Wednesday if you were interested or not. It was after earnings. It was in the evening session, so there was still some IB collapsing. Dell. Okay, here's Dell. Dell dropping off a bit this morning. Can I take these off? Can I take Dell off for a profit? Let's see. Yeah, a little bit. I'll just let this go for a while. Dell, this is from Wednesday. I keep wanting to say Friday. Dell. We'll start looking at some trades here shortly. I generally don't do a whole lot except take profits off the table in the first 15 minutes. Here's Dell. Okay, so that's $1,500, $1,600 in credits basically. So I'm just looking for prices to stay in this zone. We also have MongoDB with earnings. Let's see, MongoDB, MDB. That's on Monday. Okay, so we'll do that on Monday. MongoDB. I already have a couple of ideas set up. All right, I already have a couple of ideas set up. Okay, here's earnings. So MongoDB, that's 13%. 13% on Monday, followed by CrowdStrike, 6%, 7%. Okta, Marvell. I might do something on Marvell, 11%. Also, Snowflake. I might do something on Snowflake. CRM also reporting. Okay, I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Let's see. Marvell. I'll show you Marvell. I've already started to set this up. All right, starting to move a little bit higher. So I'll probably move this up to like 105, 110. 105, 110. Just look at 10.5% expected move for earnings next week. So we'll see how far this goes, this trend today. Marvell and what was the other one? Marvell, MongoDB, MDB. Nothing there. No. Maybe it's this one. No. Okay. Well, I'll set that up on MongoDB. The other one was Snowflake. Snowflake, yeah. Snowflake. Okay, so Snowflake, I've already started setting up, 15, 16 deltas to see how those will be going into next week. So I'll pay attention to that. Let's see, KTA, pulling back a little bit. Okay, KTTA sitting just above VWAP. Watch for MACD to continue to push higher. Volume needs to pick up. Okay, what are the New York Fangs doing? Apple pulling back. Meta is going. Meta was a buy on Wednesday, right? Some of you were buying Meta. I joined you. Meta. Let me just check out Meta, see how that's doing. Should be fine. Meta. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy Meta. Huh. Okay. I thought I did. I wanted to. Meta, I wanted to. All right. I'm a little late here. A little late to the party. We got pre-market buy order blocks, break a structure. We're going. Volume looks good. Meta. Okay, here's Meta. Reports again in January. Earnings were 20% earnings growth. Revenue growth 26%. Meta looks good. Snowflake on the move. There goes Tesla again. All right, Microsoft on the move. Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, Snowflake popping. Okay, Amazon looks good. Okay.
We can see that the Russell is breaking above its relative previous highs here near 246. We are still within the confines of this.
Okay, hedge flows are still sitting here.
247 to 248. The next spike is up here near 250.
Okay, could be a doji day. Okay, we got support 6,800, 67.80. We got resistance overhead 68.40. We got immediate support just below at 68.20. We bounced off of that level right there. As these trades went off, they closed these trades that gave a bullish tailwind briefly. Let's see if this follows through and starts trending. S&P. For some reason, I can't get my Thinkorswim to accept a 0-day. Why is that?
And RSI also exhibiting a corresponding breakout here. So, as I said, the small caps could be the bellwether here to see if we do start getting us a lasting rally. Notice we did break above our short-term downward sloping trend line here, but so far we have
68.
That's been established, and we haven't quite.
Okay, so we got some starting to trade now. That was weird.
Here based on these lows, and that it was subsequently our previous
68, 68.40. 68.40 is that upper level. That is a 40 delta. 68.40 is resistance. Okay, how big is that? 99 percentile. SPX 68.40. 99 percentile. Okay, we're probably going to target that level at some point today. What's this one down here? 98. This is 99 percentile. Okay, there goes Microsoft. Microsoft on the move.
Yeah, and that's, I think, ties to what we talked about, Nicole, about an hour ago at this point at the top of your program, how there really isn't that much weakness in this month. It's been such a nice run for the markets. You start reading the headlines like potentially the first month lower since April, for the NASDAQ since March. But you look at
SMX, big drop there on SMX.
Rotationary, but it's all in all been relatively muted in terms of the true unchanged nature of the movement in the month of November. what I would also note too is the end of October, early November was all-time highs, and so you're benchmarking things to the highest levels that this index has ever performed.
Microsoft still pushing here. Microsoft.
Things on Friday on market on
Meta pulling back, so I don't need to chase Meta. I'm going to get some Meta. Microsoft, same thing. Don't want to chase it. We got fair value gaps. Generally get retested, okay? What happens with a fair value gap if you're a new member? Fair value gap just means that price moves so fast between candle 1 and candle 3. Okay, the green candles, candle 1, 2, 3. The second candle doesn't overlap candle 1 and 3. That produces a gap, just like you would with normal price action. And then we followed up by another candle with a fair value gap. So people are chasing this so fast, their orders are not getting filled. That creates a fair value gap. Sometimes we'll come back down and fill those orders. Other times we'll just keep going. In the case of Microsoft, that might be the day that this goes. Okay, so you can see on the daily, this looks pretty good. I just don't want to chase it right now. It's Friday. We had a great week so far into Wednesday. Plus, you got shortened day today. IWM. Let's see what IWM is doing. IWM still chopping around the Qs. Okay, let's go see what junk bonds are telling us. Junk. All right, junk's bullish. Okay, advanced decline. Let's see what the advanced decline looks like. So junk is bullish. It's above its 50-day. We've had 5 straight days of buying. That's telling you these people who would trade this asset class are risk averse. So it's said to be risk off when it's dropping below the 50-day, risk on when it's moving like it is right now. And that's supportive of a tailwind in the markets. Let's look at advanced decline percent. These are all climbing. This is bullish, except for small caps, NASDAQ, mid caps, and big caps. Big, mid, and NASDAQ are higher. So breadth looks good. Let's go take a look at S&P equal weight index. This is really a great way, a great strategy, I should say. Whenever the number of stocks trading above the 20-day drop to lows, keep an eye on it. You want to look for the reversal. The reversal gives you the cue to go long. Okay. So most people will look at this and say, oh, breadth is deteriorating. This is really bad. Yeah, it is to a certain extent. But once it starts to turn back up, that's when you start looking for long setups. Okay, so 5 days ago, right? What happened 5 days ago on many stocks? Apple, 5 days ago, we had a nice rally. Amazon, oops, not going to get me this time. Amazon, nice rally, 5 days. Meta, rally, 5 days. So you can see right here, just paying attention to this one indicator, number of stocks trading above the 20-day, number of stocks trading above the 50-day. And if we go one more, number of stocks trading above the 200-day. These are all turned up. Bullish signals, CCI turned up. CCI, just another indicator, momentum indicator. Momentum strength indicator. Let's look at the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, if all of these are agreeing, then it's likely we're going to have a fairly decent December. Let's see. McClellan volume oscillator. Look at the McClellan volume oscillator. Look how far it got down into the capitulation zone where you want to start buying. 5 days ago, this bounced in concert with the number of stocks above the 20-day. Okay, here we go with high-low. Okay, the number of highs minus new lows. New highs minus new lows. Okay, still above the zero line. We have a little bit of redness here. New York Stock Exchange, advanced decline, more advancing stocks than declining as we climb. We got green elder sticks. Everything is bullish. So when in doubt, you always want to check the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so enough jabbering here on my part. We're up against resistance right now. So do we break out or do we get rejected and stay in this range until next week? Okay, I wouldn't be buying up here, but that's just me. Microsoft still looks good here. Microsoft. So bottom line, we've got pretty much risk on. And if Bitcoin can continue, that's another risk on signal. Okay, you can see over on the daily on the right, okay, progressing higher. And IBB, biotechs. You want biotechs to be trending? Okay, currently there's a little profit taking. Biotechs. Okay, what is that? ONMD. ONMD. Okay, here's a good example. This is a fairly inexpensive stock. Okay, so what do you look for? You look for MACD to be climbing. You look for volume, and you want prices to be above VWAP. That's it. You don't want to buy up here. You want to wait for the next dip to VWAP. Let me go to that setup. Go to Super Trend. Super Trend. ONMD. What do they do? One Med Net. Okay, so this one's going pretty good. All right, they've already started buying this like crazy. Don't chase it. Just watching these. Plus, you want to see the float ratio, float to volume ratio. You want to see 2 to 3 to maybe 4 to 1. ONMD has a float ratio of about 5 to 1, meaning if anybody that was holding shares, they'd be able to get out because they have 5 times as much volume trading during the day right now. That's pretty wild. Okay, ONMD. Yeah, not really that interested in chasing this. Okay, so Microsoft still looks good. Don't want to chase it. All right, so let's see what's moving on the markets right now. Since many of these are already taken off, I don't want to go chasing after these. Intel's up. Okay, Intel pulled back recently. Okay, Intel, nice. Remember the number of stocks above the 20-day turned up 5 days ago? Look at Intel. 5 days. Okay, so once that turns up, you start looking at your favorite stocks that have already pulled back. You put an entry in. See, now, if you put an entry in on Intel 5 days ago, where would your stop be? Under 32.89. Because you are paying attention to the number of stocks trading above the 20-day, this gave you a great setup. So this is a very, very good strategy. Okay, let me just grab this chart real quick. Okay. So 5 days ago, the number of stocks above the 20-day turned up. People started buying the dip. We saw stocks like, what was this, COWZ, cows. That's one that Bren mentioned. But Intel, it turned 5 days ago. Same as here. 5 days ago, Intel turned. So there's your stop under there. So buy a dip. Let this rip now. Let's see what Meta did. Meta 5 days. 5 days ago. Okay, you had your dip. There's your buy. This makes sense? Snowflake. 5 days ago, you got your bottom. Day 4 or day 2, we started rising with everything else. Volume looked okay. MACD was turning. Stochastics was oversold and turning. RSI rising. Okay, let's look at Netflix. 5 days ago, it tried the bottom. Day 2, it tried to break out. Sellers came in. So there's still some sellers down here. Apple's starting to turn. Watch Apple here. That might be a buy opportunity on Apple. It's a shortened day. So yeah, there's that. Meta looks good. I got a feeling Meta is going to be moving. over the next few weeks back up to the mean, the 50-day fair value. A lot of times, short-term fair value is the 20-day. Intermediate term fair value is the 50-day. So this is undervalued at the moment, headed back to the 50-day. There has been a lot of chatter lately about these big companies that have spent all this money on AI. Are they going to be able to pay their debt? HSBC talking about all the debt that's out there that's going to need to be financed. Oh, there's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, I guess they could sell shares too, further dilute their stock, like Meta. They're spending so much money. Anyway, something that we need to keep an eye on, listen for. All right, Broadcom, that's one that we went long on Wednesday. Broadcom still following through. Bollinger Band's opening up. What happened 5 days ago? We had a pivot. Day 2, big break to the upside where we're looking for a break to take out this level 286. We did that on Wednesday. I mentioned the trade. KTTA, that's selling. What is that? SMX is on the move again. SMX. All right, let's take a look at SMX. Okay, SMX. Okay, what happened? All right, we pull back the VWAP. Let me go to the 1-minute chart. We pull back the VWAP. Volume picked up. I don't have MACD on here. Let me go to a different chart style here. Okay. SMX. Let me turn that off. Okay, so you got your dip to VWAP. Your dip to VWAP, volume picked up. Where's my MACD? Indicators, MACD. Okay, MACD turns up. All right, you pull back the VWAP, volume picks up. That's not even the right chart style. Okay, VWAP. SMX. Okay, there you go. 1 minute. Pulls back the VWAP right there. We start producing fair value buy order blocks. MACD is moving higher. Volume picks up. So SMX looks like it's going to keep going here. Okay, going to have some chasers. This was $10 on Wednesday. Not going to chase it, but you can see the setup. Make sure MACD is rising. Make sure the volume is picking up and price above VWAP. Pullbacks to VWAP, get bought. Okay, Apple. Okay, Apple watching for a turn. Meta. Thought I had a position. Don't have a position. All right, looking for a pullback to VWAP. Looking for a pullback to VWAP. MACD to turn up. Not going to do anything with Meta right now. This can help you also if you're trading options, for example. We had a member that just could not listen. She always liked to buy on the move higher, which is fine as long as you got MACD in your favor and volume's picking up. But if you're buying on somebody else's trade and you're not paying attention to MACD, we pull way away from VWAP here with Meta. What did MACD do? Turn right back down. So now you should be waiting for your option entry. If you're going to take calls, call verticals, you want to wait to see what happens with MACD. Let's look at Snowflake. Snowflake, same thing. Snowflake, well elevated. You can see MACD is drifting lower. Okay, so what happens here? Right, the better entry is off of VWAP over here on the left, where MACD is turned. Oh, you don't even see what I'm talking about. Better entry here is off of VWAP, like 25 minutes into the, that's 10 minutes into the trading day. MACD's turned up, volume picks up, and the stock takes off. Microsoft. Broadcom, Tesla. All right, Tesla. I do want to buy some Tesla. That dropped below VWAP. Not interested right now. Netflix. Let's see what Netflix is doing. Okay, Netflix just bounced off of VWAP just now. MACD's turned up. So Netflix is a buy right now. Okay, put a stop underneath VWAP. For intraday, for day trade. Swing trade, this is still trying to figure out what it wants to do. Oracle turning up. Okay, Oracle starting to rise. See, I have some puts on Oracle just to help cushion my pullback. Or Oracle. Clo. CRML. CRML's moving higher. CRML. Are they finally going to catch a bid? Okay, CRML looks like it's turning. CRML turning. What's MP Materials? What's it doing? It's moving higher too. MP as well. MP looks good. Okay. Riot was one we got into. Riot following through from Wednesday.
We're nearly flat in the month of November after an auspicious start to it, where we were selling off a little bit, down over 5%. But then you've seen small caps. I think one of the things that's also lent some support to this risk on trade is the fact that, hey, when people are selling something, whether it was AI, whether it was healthcare earlier in the year, they're rotating into different pockets of the market. I mean, the Russell 2000 is less than 2% from its all-time highs. It's actually positive this month. So that rotation's actually good, where people aren't spooked out of the markets. They're just going into pockets that maybe were underperforming, or they're just reallocating money to this risk on trade, right?
If anything, there's almost like net new money going into those, and you could almost argue that the rotation is amongst the AI names. I would say the last 2 weeks, if they're indicative of how the rest of the year is going to go, or maybe the early parts of next year, the broad market has been relatively consistent. It's why the Russell 2000's done well. Right. It's why the S&P is within 1.5%, 1% of all-time highs, whether you're looking at the intraday or the
Meta, Snowflake, all these stocks moving high. Riot looks good. Riot.
An NVIDIA-like name. Are we moving out of a Palantir, out of an Oracle, and into an Alphabet, into those type of names?
Okay, again, 5 days ago, stocks trading above the 20-day. This one turned up. Futures look like they want to go. I like Frano. I am going to skip the S&P trade today.
That massive rally that we saw in Google Alphabet after the proposed announcement that Meta Platforms may be using their TPUs, maybe a little bit of profit taking.
Yeah, I'm not going to trade an S&P today. We'll stick with individual stocks. Let's go through a few of these right now. Riot looking pretty good. Riot, Intel with a nice buy there. Following through day 5. Okay, don't buy the high of the day. Wait for a VWAP. Wait for it to pull back to VWAP. And MACD to be turned up, volume pick up. Hope that makes sense, because I find that works 90% of the time. If it loses VWAP, MACD's not turned. If any of those conditions don't sync up, then you don't take the trade. MACD needs to be bullish, volume needs to pick up, and price needs to bounce at VWAP. Don't chase. Micron, Meli, Analog Devices, ADI. Okay, so Frano, you mentioned semiconductors buying the SMH on Wednesday, right? That looks pretty good. SMH. SMX is going ballistic here. SMX. Oh, jeez. SMX is going vertical. Okay, that's a big one there. It still looks good. I mean, it's way extended from VWAP, but you got MACD, volume, everything looks good. It looks like they're chasing SMX. You're trading IWM, okay? Yeah. I'm gonna skip IWM today. The indices. Let's see if we can't get some individual names like SMX to do what they're doing. Jeez, SMX. That's crazy. Yeah, this one on Wednesday just started to show up on the scanner, and that took off. Got out way too quick, way too soon. That's all right. It's a beauty. Netflix still pushing.
Yeah, Schwab lets you invest and trade on your own. And if you want, they can even manage it for you. Not to mention, Schwab has a team of specialists for taxes, insurance, and estate planning, all with low fees.
It was like 75 degrees yesterday. It's like 65, 55 now. It's got to be closer to 55. Let me close this window.
No politics, no spin, just the market from open to close and beyond. Streaming 24/7.
Okay, I got to grab a bottle of water. I'll be right back. I'm your host, Cousin Vinny, coming to you from theclosingprint.com. It is Friday, the 28th, November. Got a shortened day, half day. I'll be right back.
Layoffs are expected to run until the end of the year. Stocks up about 1% on that news. Now let's take a look at some of the S&P 500 leaders. Intel, there's just a report that they're going to start shipping Apple's M chips by 2027. Coinbase, with that rebound in Bitcoin, up 4.4%. Block, up 3%. And Palo Alto Networks, after their earnings, up over 2%. On the laggard side, Eli Lilly coming off of those record highs that we hit earlier this week, down about just over 2%. Oracle, weak again on that potential $38 billion capital raise. Best Buy down 1.6% after their earnings last week, and Gilead Sciences also down about 1.4%. But now, joining us for a look at the bigger picture is Andrew Wells, CIO at Sanjak Alpha. Welcome to the show, Andrew. When you look at the markets and the way that they've reacted since that volatility that we had at the start of the month, give me your take here, because it seems like the risk on trade is back in motion here for investors.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Black Friday, Tom, and thanks for having me. I think we have to zoom out here just a little bit and look at how this year started. And I was one of these people who told the markets that if we could take an 8 to 10% year in the equities market, we'd probably take it coming off a couple of 25% plus gains in the NASDAQ and the S&P. So here we sit at the NASDAQ up 20%, the S&P up 15. I think we're pretty happy with where we sit, even if it just stays here through the end of the year. So as you mentioned, the risk-on sentiment is in the markets. We see a pretty robust looking retail sector shaping up here going into the end of the year. And so let's see if we can finish strong and see these equity markets kind of continue into the end of the year with nice gains.
Yeah, when you look at just the impact that we've seen for equities, you mentioned those gains that we had 2023, 2024. It seems like earnings has kind of been the good base case for this risk on appetite at this point. Deregulation may be coming from the administration. Even the government shutdown, tariffs, they can't really create these headwinds for markets. If we can get through stuff like that, Andrew, does that bode well going into 2026 for equities as maybe, another double-digit gainer for 2026?
Well, I feel a little bit of deja vu of how I felt last year. We're seeing some signs that perhaps the customer is fading a little bit over the medium term. We look at things like the New York Fed released a study that they did back to around 2012 and showed that credit denials are at the highs for the last 15 years. And that tells us, we're seeing about 25% of people who apply for credit in things like auto, retail credit cards, mortgages. About 25% of those people are being declined. And that tells me that the market wants to spend money, the consumer wants to be there, but perhaps the banking sector is just not being cooperative and tightening up a little bit. So this is why the Fed, I believe, even though you're seeing inflation persist here, the Fed's not looking as much at that as they are at things like unemployment rising a bit here and seeing some cracks in the labor market. And then certainly the free flow of credit to the consumer base, that's an area the Fed is looking at as well. So this is why we see the Fed kind of becoming a little bit more accommodative than you would normally see staring at 3% inflation.
Yeah, and expectations are for that to start to come down. It hasn't really surged, but when you look at maybe this last 4 or 5 days that we've seen in the equity market, Andrew, one of the big reasons is, hey, the expectations for that Fed rate cut in about a week and a half are up to, above 85% at this point. So they're being more accommodative. We've seen some bifurcation as far as the Fed members and the voting members kind of pushing back and forth between each other. Is that the key here for going into the latter stages of this year into 2026? That, hey, as long as the Fed stays on this maintenance.
All right. SMX is still halted. Okay.
Do you see inflation maybe resurging if we do get any more cuts in early 2026?
We actually do. At our firm, we do look at inflation.
SMX. You're looking at IWM? Yeah.
In terms of it surging in 2026 as opposed to kind of where we stayed.
Netflix, Meta. Nothing's where I want to buy it. S&P is starting to rise. S&P. Okay, so maybe they finish this week off with a nice pop. All right, let's see what these S&Ps look like. S&P 0 day.
Stop the runoff of the balance sheet. That too is something that can be more accommodative to the long end of the market, seeing a lot of the reinvestments back into the balance sheet that they have been shrinking literally for 2.5 years now. And again, even with a shrinking balance sheet, certainly didn't bother the risk markets. So with the balance sheet not shrinking anymore, we don't expect it to bother them going forward from here.
Yeah, and when you look at it, it's Black Friday here, Andrew. The consumer. We've seen some
Black Friday.
Consumer sentiment. Maybe that's a little bit skewed politically, but then confidence is at low levels that we haven't seen since April. Do you feel like maybe once we get through this holiday shopping season that we might run into some problems in early next year? Because I think a lot of people are calling for that. We're in that no fire, no hire type of situation, but unemployment's ticking up a little bit and people are
Okay.
Or do you feel like we're going to
Hedge flows. If you're interested, hedge flows are pretty bullish. I'm just not that interested in buying anything with a shortened day. Okay, MicroStrategy keeps jockeying for number 1 spot. So you can see what MicroStrategy is doing. Strategy. Okay, stocks that are catching a lot of attention. Coinbase coming off the low. Okay, so 5 days ago, this one bottomed too. A lot of stocks were oversold, and 5 days ago, we saw the number of stocks above the 20-day indicator turn up. So that's telling you the majority starting to see some action all at the same time. It's a pretty decent barometer, if you will. S&P equal weight number of stocks above the 20-day. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I was so quick to talk about the number of stocks above the 20-day. I really didn't even focus on the S&P equal weight. It was higher. It was higher. Okay, so we're almost ready to take out the yearly highs here, going into Santa Claus rally mode. I'm expecting that we're probably going to consolidate up here for maybe a week. and then we'll get some sort of confirmation. Maybe we'll get a Santa Claus rally after that, but we're pretty extended. Even though the number of stocks, yeah, you can see the number of stocks above the 20-day. Look at that. We're almost at 80% now, 75, 76%. Okay. And the advanced decline. Advanced decline is also getting close to plus 30%. That's when you start thinking about taking profits off, not chasing. Okay. So 5 days ago, we mentioned that indicator. Okay. We mentioned that the S&P equal weight was starting to turn. The number of stocks above the 20-day. That was your signal. If you took anything back then. Okay, let's see what Broadcom looks like right now. Broadcom, AVGO, 5 days later. Okay, we're at the highs, Doji, Broadcom.
Whether you're a bull or bear, you'll want to catch the latest market action on Morning Movers with me, Diane King Hall, live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, only on Schwab Network.
Trading at Schwab is powered by Ameritrade.
Okay, one we mentioned on Wednesday, that was showing up on the scanner audio alert. BMNU, that's two times the BMNR, 2 times that one. As we reversed again, day 5. Okay, number of stocks above the 20-day turned 5 days ago. All right, so back to this one, looking at what's working. Brown and Foreman. That is Brown and Foreman, right? Brown and Foreman, yeah. Okay, so Brown and Foreman. Analog devices. Expand Energy. Okay, energy stocks, XLE. Turning back up, looks good. Healthcare have been doing well. Healthcare at the highs. Our leaders, Lilly. Though this is what I've been waiting for Lilly, Merck. Okay, these are consolidating, and J&J. Because I would like to do something else, like maybe add some shares. Those 3 look really good. AstraZeneca, that's on the watch list, right? AbbVie, Bristol Myers, BMY, Pfizer, and Gilead. Okay, but XBI, biotechs, these have been on a run since August. They broke out of a base. That's the S&P Biotech, the NASDAQ Biotech IBB ETF. That's also up here. The big change has been Bitcoin has turned. I saw Scott posted MACD cross. Okay, you got MACD and stochastics both turning up. You got volume starting to increase. You got buyers showing up in Bitcoin. Okay, RSI rising. So anything related to Bitcoin is going to be driving higher. Coinbase, IBIT, BMNU, 2 times long, BMNR, that looks good. All right, I'll probably add to that one, BMNU. That looks good. All right, cool. BMNU, yeah, that looks good. I'm going to add to this, BMNU. Got the high of the day. What is the ATR on this one? ATR is $2.40. It's up $1.50, so I'm not buying the high of the day. Could buy the BC pivot on this one. No hurry. This is chasing. BMNU. 2 times long BMNR. Yeah, but all of these Bitcoin related names look good. Let's go to the small caps and see how many in here. How many of these are Mara? Okay, no riot here. Clean Spark. Okay, that one was on the watch list last week. I don't think it's still on there, is it? I don't think I kept it. CLSK, I believe it was on the last week. The extended, yeah, it was on the extended watch list under Bitcoin stocks down at the bottom. On the watch list down at the bottom, you just look at the last section down there. Those are all the Bitcoin stocks that we've traded. IREN, that's one that Mondo mentioned. When was that, Mondo? Like Monday, Tuesday? Well, you've been mentioning it for a few days. That looks good. But Coinbase coming off the low, you can trade CONL as well. Looking for a double. Can we get a double? You know, for every 100 shares, $2,200. Make 2 or 3,000. Yeah, coin CONL. I'll probably add to that too. CONL.
Earnings have been great, Joe. So that's kind of what that investors doing. They're just sticking to the narratives that make risk on asset trading more popular, right? And that, hey, we can get supported. We've got all these
BMNU. Okay, that's pulling back to VWAP. CONL.
Earnings are great, right, Joe?
I think you bring up a great point. Remember, there's all this noise out there, and you're getting all these mixed signals, whether it's rent signals.
Okay, MSTR is ripping here. MSTR.
Sentiment measures out there. Ultimately, at some point, it comes back. I truly believe that. And we came off a really strong earnings season, about 83% beat rates in earnings per share, and the revenue side was much higher than we've seen in a long time. In the high 60% on revenue beats, and expectations for 2026 have actually gone up.
Oh wow, that's cool.
As well, so there's still a lot of high expectations for the cycle can be in Q4 and beyond. And I think
that makes sense, Mondo.
Start pairing that with what you saw on the charts, where
okay, just here's another good example. Okay, here's BMNR, right? BMNR. Do you want to buy it right here? Look at your 1 minute chart. Okay, so we're already starting to see a fade. What's MACD telling you? MACD saying no, do not buy right now. See that? Pretty simple. You want to buy when you see MACD rising and volume picking up, right? You get a little dip to VWAP, pop. Don't buy it up here. If you could just make these little adjustments, you're going to have much better entries. You'll have less experience of prices pulling back on you. Man, I tell you what, every time I look at my electric bill, I just chuckle. Buying solar panels, they were expensive. You know, it cost me $40,000 for my installation, but I have like 25 panels. They're made by Ginkgo Solar, but they were made to Enphase specification. How are they doing? Enphase. Every time I look at my electric bill, it's like, oh, man, it's like a tenth of what it was in New Jersey. I had electric, of course, it's much colder up there, but the entire house on the lake was electric radiators instead of gas or propane. And it was like $800 a month. Now it's like $100 a month. My next door neighbor, same size, basically same size house within a few hundred square feet. He's paying like $350. I keep telling him, man, buy some solar panels for Christ's sake. Anyway, Enphase coming off the low, day 5. Intel, all of these stocks, if you see the same pattern, you got a pretty good shot that this is going to follow through. Do I want to buy right now? Not necessarily. There's no hurry. Okay. We could wait until Monday. Or if you get an ABCD pattern, these are probably going to continue. Now, Intel, I would like to sell some iron condors, only because this tends to stay range bound. Let's see what that goes for. INTC. Nope. You know what? I'll do that Monday. I don't need to do that right now. BMNU.
We gotta close these markets so I can get online and start shopping at this point. Oh, all right, Joe, great stuff.
You're not running. You're not going to be running into the stores at moment, right?
There you go. Maybe.
Okay, Riot. Riot. Let's see what Riot's doing. Riot. RIOT. 5 days ago. You see the pattern? Watch that 20-day. Number of stocks above the 20-day. It's probably one of your best friends when it comes to, am I buying the right time? That and ATR. If you're buying in the high of the day and MACD's turned down, it's a bad time to buy. You just want to wait. Have a little patience. Okay, so here we are at the high of the day. Do you want to buy Riot up here? MACD is just kind of drifting lower. Okay, this might be okay. 945 is turned down. So this told you to, you could see people starting to take profits. It was still grinding higher though. So maybe they keep buying Riot. Okay. Let's see who this is leaving. Sorry about that.
Schwab Network delivers real-time market insights live from the NYSE, NASDAQ, CBOE, and beyond. From earnings to economic data, we cover what matters as it happens. Streaming 24/7, anytime, anywhere, free on schwabnetwork.com.
Whether you're an experienced investor or just getting started, Charles Schwab offers a webcast right for you.
Okay. Riot looks all right. Coinbase. They keep buying Coinbase. All right, MACD is starting to turn up. Okay, so Coinbase is probably going to keep going. Okay. Okay, so everything's starting to move now. Everything's starting to move.
From the most iconic trading floor in the world, this is Opening Bell with Nicole Petalini.
Okay, there goes. All right. Coinbase.
The countdown, the setups, the stories that make markets move. Minute-by-minute breakdown of the biggest headlines, earnings, global movers, just the trades that matter. As the bell hits and the markets react in real time, Opening Bell, live at the NYSE, right when it counts.
Yeah, we're back here on Morning Trade Live. We're talking Oracle. Stock's off a little bit today, giving up more than 41% of its gains since those all-time highs that we saw in early September. Oracle is in the news today due to an upcoming $38 billion debt offering to fund the next phase of its Stargate project with OpenAI. Another round.
Yeah, that's the other way to do it. Debt offerings. Further dilute their shares. Oracle.
Let's bring in our next guest. It's going to be Marley Caden. She's the host of Trading 360 and Market on Close.
All right.
So Oracle's in the news. We talked about this earlier in the session, and this is a big deal because I think the pullback.
Meta looks like it wants to keep going. Same with Microsoft, Netflix. Apple's just kind of sitting here above the 20-day.
To build out this AI infrastructure, that's going to be a concern for investors, right?
Amazon could do anything. Google's off the high of the day. Google. So a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin stocks.
You mentioned this new funding round. There are several banks discussing this potential $38 billion loan package for Oracle alongside its data center builder Vantage to fund those additional sites for OpenAI. Now, this is not their first debt offering, of course, as you're hinting at by saying the investors might have some concerns that they're taking out more debt, but it is the largest offering to date if this one does come to fruition. They took out $18 billion debt financing back in September. Late September to support some of these massive data center plans already, including those Stargate campuses. Now, OpenAI
Okay, Coinbase.
Plans for 5 different Stargate data
MACD turning up. Okay, let's go look at Coinbase. I'm not going to do anything on S&P today, so holiday shortened week, half day today. Coinbase, a little profit taken there at the highs. Somebody day trading. Okay, there goes Meta. Meta's on the move.
sell side in a bearish way. We got a note from Deutsche Bank saying that this sell-off actually offers a really attractive entry point. The analysts also made note that they don't think that Oracle is given little, they said, quote, little if any credit for its business with OpenAI, and that while the deal brings financial and operational risks, these are offset by what
blah, 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 blah.
Will that momentum now carry over into the U.S.? Let's bring in big technology founder and CNBC contributor.
Okay, watch your MACD for entries.
Here at Post 9. Happy Black Friday, Alex. Happy Black Friday. So there's a lot of commentary that
What's Tesla doing? Tesla.
Sort of chance to shine. What do you think?
Okay, early morning, they look like Tesla. Look like short covering. That first pop there, that was short covering. Came right back down below VWAP. MACD starting to turn up. This might get going here. Meta. SMX dropped to 44 from 62. All right, gapping down.
Slowly than a lot of people anticipated. Remember, about a year and a half ago, people thought that Google's Assistant and Amazon's Alexa Plus and whatever Apple Intelligence.
Okay, so we're starting to consolidate up here, these Bitcoin-related names.
But today, we're halfway there or not even.
Coinbase, Bitcoin.
People anticipated, but it's still a long-term threat for Apple. This is going to be very serious long-term.
you've also been writing about the Google comeback and turnaround.
Okay, nice looking daily on Bitcoin. Nice daily. Headed back through 90,000. Remember, this is going to trade Saturday, Sunday, so be aware of it.
They've centralized a lot of their AI operations and product operations really into this Google DeepMind unit. And that's not just talk. They moved 250 or so engineers from search product unit into Google DeepMind. Okay, and then they built technology for search that was then farmed back into the products. So typically within Google, they've had these very strong fiefdoms, the product areas that control command and control. And so what's happened within the company is these product areas have seeded a lot of that to the AI, engine room that they call it in the middle, and that's helped a lot. The other side is on the business front. Google's search business remains unchallenged. OpenAI, though it might be grabbing users, does not have an advertising product. It doesn't have an ad tech ecosystem. And there was this great HSBC report that said by 2030 we might see $24 billion in AI advertising. Google just turned in $56 billion in the most recent quarter. So I think that's really the underlying thing is the business is strong.
Comstock Resources breaking out. Looks good. Comstock CRK.
Google has a product, and more importantly, the business.
Yeah, it's funny. We've made the point many times. A year ago, it was a very serious concern that they were going to lose their monopoly in search. It hasn't happened. But are we underestimating the different things that OpenAI conceivably could come up with?
Corsair Gaming coming off the low. Marathon Digital coming off the low. Anything related to Bitcoin's looking good. Enphase turned the corner. Sunrun still consolidating. Let's see what the CSIQ. Solar. Okay, that's bounced. First Solar bounced 5 days ago. Oh, let's see. Let's look at the sectors. XLB, materials, big move on materials. MP Materials. All right, nice little move there. What's Circle doing? Circle Internet turning off the low. Palantir. Okay. So XLB looks good. XLC Communications, that's Meta, Netflix, Google, Fox, all the regular stations. Communication sector looks good. Let's see, Charter Communications coming off the low. Fox. Okay. Warner Brothers Discovery Still grinding higher. Warner Brothers Discovery. Okay, shifting to energy. XLE, we just looked at. Nice little bounce. So you got your stocks like ExxonMobil trying to bounce. Chevron, some of the bigger PSX, Phillips 66, refiners. Vistra Oil and Gas, that looks okay. Some of the smaller, Apache, Devon, Halliburton, Helmrich and Payne. Okay, all of the energy looks good for the most part. Diamondback Energy, nice. Okay, that's energy. XLF Financials following through. Okay, so stocks like Goldman Sachs. I did close this on Wednesday, by the way. I think I've repeated myself about 10 times. Goldman Sachs, we had credit spreads on Goldman Sachs. I took those off for a nice fat profit. Good way to make money. If you can't sit in front of your computer screen all day, sell put credits. If you're bullish, you sell put credits, right? You think the stock is going to go up. You don't sell naked. You protect yourself. You buy the strikes below. Same expiration. You sell the 740, you bought a 735. You get an $85 credit. I did 10 of those, $850. So I made about 85% profit on each of these. So just add it up. That's really good income. Goldman Sachs also had JP Morgan, but I took that off like the week prior, JP Morgan, because we did look like we were going to test these strikes. And eventually we did. Eventually we tested these 290, 285s. I could actually sell some credits now because we're just banging around inside of range. Let me see if I want to do that. JP Morgan. Let's see what kind of let's see what kind of premium we can get from JP Morgan. Generally, you don't want to sell put credits at the high of the day. You want to sell put credits as the stock pulls back. Makes sense. The puts become more expensive. Therefore, you can sell them for a higher premium. Right now, not so much. I'm going to look at it anyway, just for the hell of it. JP Morgan. Okay, while I'm doing that, the only thing I have right now on is an iron condor on Dell. Dell. Okay, so Dell's just sitting here in between the red lines. That's my short strikes. Okay, $1,590, $1,600 in credits. So all I want to happen is for prices to stay below the 50, above the 9 and 21 day, somewhere in this range. It's definitely above the 200 day. And with Dell earnings, most likely that's going to be the case. Let's go see what Dell actually said. Management said on Dell, DELL. Okay, Dell Technologies. Okay, so record third quarter revenue, $27 billion, up 11%. That's awesome. They keep talking about the AI bubble, right? But these companies keep delivering. 11% year over year. That's a decent night, decent follow through. Okay, you've got 34.9%, 35% earnings growth, 10% revenue growth, all positive. Let's see what they're going to say. They expect fourth quarter, $3.50, $32 billion. Okay, so they reported revenue. You see that right there? They reported revenue of $27 billion right here. All right, they reported $27 billion. What are they reporting for next quarter? Okay, so that right there is telling me look for bullish action. At a minimum, this consolidates. You can see the Bollinger Bands coming together. So one of the things that I always look for is where is price relative to the 50-day? And is there a shot that the Bollinger Bands will start to compress? Excuse me. And price action will stay in this zone, because all I want this to do is to stay below the 50-day, above the 200-day. If it does, I'll probably reap about 75% profits from this. All right. So probably looking at around $1,200 in profits that I'll hold on to, selling $1,600 in credits. All I have to do is wait for the time. These are, it says December 19th. I couldn't find these. Couldn't find these on, doesn't matter. I'm talking to myself. Let's see. Yeah, I do have the 19th. So what? I don't understand. Because when I went to plot this out, okay, I already plotted it out. All right, so I had an iron condor. And what I wanted to do was to go to the 19th. Let's see if the 19th is available now. You say the 19th is grayed out. I understand. Yet I have the 19th. That I know. So kind of a weird thing. I'm going to send this over to SpotCam and let them know. Maybe there's a little hiccup. But this is the iron condor that I have basically. Dell 150, 155. Let me just plot this out. 150. Sell the 150. 155. Okay, so I got that. 155. And on the downside, I have 120, 125. The great thing about their calculator is you can adjust it for the number of days. So far as I know, this is the only calculator that does this. All right, so you can see right here, this is my iron condor. Although I'll take the 26th, in reality, I have the 19th. I don't know why I can't let me do that. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. So, all right. So I can adjust this. The days to expiration here, I can take these days to expiration. So by Friday next week, you can see my profit loss fairly narrow. And then as the days pass, how much theta kicks in, volatility collapses, and eventually gets to expiration. Really cool feature. Anyway, so that's Dell. Prices are moving higher. S&P moving higher. Bitcoin, we're looking for that to turn back up on the short time frames. Bitcoin, nice bullish trend in Bitcoin. Yeah. Okay, Oklo, I'm with you there, Frano. I want to see that continue too. Oklo. These have pulled back. They're ready to start doing something, it looks like. They didn't bounce as much as some of the others, like say Intel. If you look at the 5 days ago, this one was definitely getting bought. See the difference? Whenever I see this, it tells me that, okay, if I'm thinking about buying something, all things equal, 5-day reversal, they were definitely buying the crap out of Intel. Not so much Oklo. I have a position in Oklo too, in both positions actually. So, I'd like to see a little bit more rapid action here. You can see 5 days on Coinbase. I'm looking at the far right chart. Okay. 5 days ago. Much quicker price action. Let's look at Meta. Meta, 5 days ago. Nice price action. MP Materials, kind of flat, but moving higher. CRML. Okay. So we left off. We left off talking about financials. Okay. So you could sell some premium on financials over the weekend. Theta kicking in. So that's XLF. XLI Industrials. Those look good. Technology, looking good. Semiconductors, looking good. Above the 50-day. Day 5 reversal. XLP, consumer staples, even that looks good. XLV, healthcare, yep, looks good. A little profit taking. XLU, utilities, yes, looks good. XLY. This is 50% of the weight of XLY. Almost 50% of the weight is Tesla and Amazon. Only two stocks. There goes Amazon starting to move right now. Amazon, day 5, above the 50-day. I mean, if you don't see what I'm looking at here and what I'm talking about, you're missing these potential trades. Do I want to buy the high of the day right now? Not necessarily. But this looks good. Amazon looks good. Do I have a position? I do have a position, right? Yes, I do. Okay. All right. So 200 shares, but I also have calls. Good. Good, good, good. Let me buy some calls that are a little closer to the money right now. Amazon. Amazon. I'm just adding to my position. It's not new. Amazon. Let me go to January's. And $40 deltas are 240. Buy a 240. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think these are okay. Where's Amazon? Okay, Amazon's a little expensive. 58% risk reversal. Buying put spreads they're talking about. Amazon. I don't know about that. Amazon. So a little expensive. I'll just buy a vertical. I'm going to buy 240, 245 for January. 240 is kind of far, right? Maybe 235. Let me do 235. 235. 235 is a 50 delta. 235. The only thing I'm considering is that, if you recall, I'm looking for prices to kind of stall up here for a week or so. So I'm going to wait till Monday. Let's see how the markets start off on Monday, because we've had a good week. S&P 500, we've had a good week. Okay, we're right back up to the highs. So if you follow what I'm saying here, okay, we've got this lower high situation. We are breaking above it. So the next level would be up here, right? Somewhere up here in this zone. I'm thinking that we could, I'm thinking there's no hurry, in other words. No hurry to buy anything. 0 day. Didn't buy any 0 days today. So if you're looking for a 0-day trade, I'm not going to do anything. Okay. So that's zone up here. I'm thinking we're going to get up here and just kind of consolidate next week. If we break out, that's great too. That'd be great if we break out, but that's not what I'm anticipating. Okay. Volume looks good. And we know that the call wall did shift down.
Taxes aren't going up. The DC regulatory is coming down, and so that is a very big positive. But we're going into the midterms. That's going to be a big concern next November when we get
up only Intel. Yeah, look, Intel looks good there.
Very encouraged by everything. Inflation is held down. Construction costs really. Though the inflationary part of this is all this AI building boom, which is an entirely different discussion to have. But it's what has been really absorbing and consuming all the construction materials is going into the AI stuff. But we're encouraged.
All right, I'm going to leave it on the encouraging note, Ray. Always appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Coming up after the break, CEO of furniture maker Ethan Allen's with us on how tariffs are impacting business when Money Movers begins in just a few moments.
Okay, Meta's still going. Okay, Amazon's trying to break out. Amazon's trying to go. Had a good week. I'm just trimming some things. Just trimming some positions into strength. Let's see if there's anything else I want to take off here before I add anything else.
875 put short, $10 wide, neutral to bullish. Put vertical, you're collecting roughly about 350 credit.
Yeah, Intel, great little turn there, Intel.
These are the trade-offs. You risky more to make less, but you've got a better probability of success on this neutral to bullish stance. You can still take a directional bias, but it's more passive, more conservative.
2050 day. Look at a 2050 day on Intel. Blasting higher. I already have June calls on this one. I have the June 40, 50.
As George mentioned, of 881.50, you're still going to be potentially profitable on this conservative, passive, bullish trade here. Short put vertical that George brought us. Good example. Good look at this example trade. Risk defined, I think, key on such a high price stock here, just like Costco, looking for maybe some consolidation reversal. Remember, it hasn't traded below that 875 level. That's acted as an area of support recently. All right, great stuff. Thanks to George Tillis, senior markets correspondent here, joining us. That's going to wrap it up here from Morning Trade Live. I'm Tom White. Download the Schwab Network app, available in the Apple App Store, and tune in 24/7 on schwabnetwork.com. Trading 360 with Marley Cadence up next.
Trading at Schwab is powered by Ameritrade, giving you even more specialized trading. Connect with the Schwab Trade Desk, our team of passionate traders ready to tackle your trading questions, no matter how complex. Plus, get 24/7 live help.
Meta looks good.
Access support by phone, email, and in
Okay, Intel.
Trade brilliantly with Schwab.
What's up, Carl Nation? It's your number one broker with the best full-service wealth management skills in the biz.
Actually, I'm seeing something from Schwab.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Schwab lets you invest and trade on your own.
And if you want, they can even manage it for you.
Not to mention, Schwab has a team of specialists for taxes, insurance, and estate planning, all with low fees.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Carl.
Schwab, a modern approach to wealth management.
Whether you're an experienced investor or just getting started, Charles Schwab offers a webcast that's right for you. The Platforms and Tools webcasts are designed to help you broaden your knowledge of platform features and resources available from Schwab. You'll learn tips and tricks to help navigate Schwab.com, Thinkorswim, and mobile-based platforms. Best of all, you can ask questions
Freeport.
by chatting directly
Materials.
with an
Freeport.
education coach.
Okay.
It's interactive learning at its finest. Tune in live or watch on demand. Head over to schwab.com/coaching and start learning today.
Okay, Freeport, McMoran, copper, tied to construction, and let's see what copper looks like. Copper. Okay, copper. All right, you can see what looks like a volume contraction pattern. We'll make a nice move up, contract, contract again, less, contract again, even less than the previous two contractions. Once you break out above the 520 level, 525, that's your confirmation. Okay, Microsoft, nice pop there on Microsoft. Day 5, a little slow on day 1 and 2. Day 3, 4, 5 looks good. Microsoft, Meta, nice reversal. Day 5, the reversal on day 1 and just follows through. Meta looks really good. Tesla looks good. stopping at the 50-day. If it gets above the 50-day, this could be headed back to 470. Some of you have the 500 call for next year. I think June or something like that.
I'm Sam Barnes, live from the New York Stock Exchange. When the market moves, we're on it, getting the reaction.
Jeffrey says the average promotion for toys is around 32%. That's down from 38% last year. Hasbro, though, Jeffrey thinks, is having a pretty strong showing for its classic games like Connect 4, Sorry, Trouble, and Candyland. Speaking of toys, third-party fulfillment company ShipBox.
Yeah, S&P looks good. S&P looks good. Back above the 50-day. 50-day is almost a straight line since about July, August. It's almost a straight line. So for the longer term traders, what you're looking for are these pullbacks. I still didn't do anything with mine, but you're looking for these pullbacks. If you're investing in your 401k at work and you have automatic additions to your 401k every 2 weeks or whatever, you probably got a nice entry here to add to your TRBCX, a highly recommended long-only fund. Most 401ks, if you have the ability to buy T. Rowe Price, look into it. Vanguard has a few. RGA. You also have American funds, the growth funds of America. That looks good. So since 2022, these have been in long-term uptrends, buying dips below the 10 EMA, back above the 10 EMA. This is looking good. Vanguard, VGA, what was it, VGATX or something like that? No. Vanguard, VG, Vanguard, let me see, Vanguard. This is another good one, information technology. If you're into AI, VGT, Vanguard Information Technology, that's a good ETF as well to add to your list. Stocking stuffer. Let me see. Vanguard blue chip growth.
What might we expect in the final push into year end? We're joined this morning with his outlook, Morgan Stanley Wealth Management Senior Vice President Jim.
Okay, VWUSX. VWUSX. Okay, so this is another one, Vanguard, U.S. Growth Fund. If you have a Vanguard account. Okay, so that looks good. IWM, we definitely want to see IWM trending. It is day 5. The Qs, day 5. New York Stock Exchange, when in doubt, always check. We're about to break out here on the New York Stock Exchange. 2,000 stocks in the composite. Broad measure of market participation. You got, I don't know how many other things I can show you to deliver the point. This is looking really bullish. Advanced decline percent, everything but small caps is participating. Yeah, this looks good. This looks good. Netflix continuation. Netflix coming off the low. Okay, Netflix. Okay, so I guess technically this looks like a descending wedge. Or channel, I guess. Okay, connect the highs. A little bit of a broadening pattern almost. It's almost a channel down. Okay, just taking this last pivot here. This pivot here, taking out some stops maybe. Very subjective. Taking the highs, connecting those, taking the lows, connecting those up until the previous November pivot low. Now, what I'm looking for is for prices to head back up. 50-day, 200-day cross coming. So that's one thing we need to pay attention to. This 50, 200-day cross right there. RSI looks good, though. MACD and stochastics oversold. Okay, looking for these to turn up. You think Netflix is going to lose its #1 spot in entertainment? I doubt it. I was on Prime. It pissed me off because I wanted to watch a movie and I had to sit through a 2-minute commercial. Now, I'm a cheap bastard, so I didn't want to pay the extra $3 a month to go no commercials. I probably just should do that because it's just frustrating. So I didn't want to watch anything on Prime, in other words. I watched on Netflix. And Netflix has better programming anyway. And lately with Netflix, I think it's Netflix, maybe it's Prime. You can, if you click on something that you like, a movie, and it happens to be on Apple, they'll take you over to Apple if you already have a subscription. So it's pretty cool how they link back and forth. But anyway, Prime pissed me off. There goes Tesla. All right, entry on Tesla. Yes, good idea. Okay, look at the MACD. MACD turning up. Look at the volume. Okay, that looks good. We're up quite a bit already on the day. There goes Microsoft popping.
Jim, I know you pointed to some fiscal tailwinds going into the new year, but you also point out that midterm years in general aren't all that hot. Does that mean
Microsoft is going. Microsoft.
That's a great question. So, historically, the second year of a presidential cycle, you get
Microsoft looks good.
Typically, it starts in about mid-March, and so I think
Microsoft on the move. What a nice day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's see what Dell's doing. Dell, D-E-L-L, Dell. Dell's just sitting here. Okay, cool. Microsoft looks good. Tesla looks good. Netflix looks good. Snowflake, Meta, Amazon. Okay, it's a very good chance that going into the closing bell, I don't think they'll have a closing bell, but going into the closing bell, we'll have all of these New York FANGs turned up at the same time. Right now, we're still, Apple is still lagging a bit. Maybe Apple, I have some Apple, right? I have the 280s, I believe, Apple. Yeah, I have Apple 280s. Those expire next week, so look for that to bounce. AMD.
Anytime you say we're going to have another 16% year, you oftentimes regret those comments later. However, in answer to your question, I think we can see an up market next year. I think it'll be maybe more sedate. I think GDP growth is going to be more sedate, maybe just above stall speed, maybe somewhere around 2%. But I think we can see a market that goes higher, but it may mean that we start off good, we digest the gains in the middle of the year and rally again towards the end of the year. I don't think it'll be as smooth and steady. This is an economy that has some ankle weights around it, so we're going to see some news-driven events that can create that volatility. But I think by the end of the year, we will probably be higher interest rates at 4% on a 10-year treasury, for example. They're not going to be too exciting for investors. Corporate bond rates have come down. So I think from an asset allocation standpoint, stocks still look pretty good.
Yeah, we had 20
Okay, Apple.
this year. We'll see what we put together.
Microsoft's still going. Look at Microsoft go. Looking good, Microsoft. MACD still climbing. Volume increasing. Amazon. There goes Amazon. Nice look to above the 50-day. Red arrow on the right. What do you want, baby? You want something to eat? You want some treats? Where are your treats at? Oh, there they are. Where are your treats? Yeah. Put your food downstairs. There you go. She likes these. They have a little catnip in them. Never liked cats. Never was much of a cat person. I've had girlfriends that had cats, but these animals grow on you, I guess, you know. They all have their own personalities. Have a sort of, what do they call it? Tortoise shell. Cat, black and brown. And anyway, she comes over to me and she just like takes one paw and just taps me on the leg when she wants something. It's the cutest thing. Animals. Anyway, what the hell is Benny talking about? I don't know. That's what happens when you have a day off and then you have a Friday following a short Friday. All of these stocks look good though. Just make sure your MACD is rising. Okay, you're buying dips and volume picks up right after you buy. Okay, you buy and then you see the follow through, or you wait for the follow through. You get the volume, you put a stop underneath. Okay, so very straightforward for intraday traders. Always check your VWAP. All right, what's VWAP doing? Is VWAP rising? It is. Okay, VWAP is rising, so that's a check, right? You get these little pullbacks. We're kind of elevated away from VWAP, but look at the volume right here. Look at that volume bar. Okay, that's telling you to keep an eye on these because we keep getting these volume bars, and we keep racing higher. Okay, MACD's okay. Now MACD is starting to turn, and we're coming to 11:15. Maybe take some profits up here. Okay. Meta, same thing. Meta looking good. What, you want more? You ate all of those? You sure did. Here you go. There you go. Okay, I guess the garbage guys don't come on Friday after Thanksgiving. Meta still looks good. Nice follow through. Look at VWAP. Look at MACD. Look at volume. Nice volume here, Frano. Get a nice trade on. Frano just took some Meta, I believe, a few minutes ago. I'm taking it easy a little bit today. Just calling out the trades, not doing a whole lot.
The big three stocks, three charts, three trades. Richie Cat will take us through the technicals and
Okay, Apple looks like it might want to turn here. Apple. Just consolidating. I don't know. I'm not in any hurry to do anything with Apple. SMX is turning back up again. SMX. Okay, let's take a look at SMX. SMX. Okay, trading $50. Okay, look at MACD. Big fade as more and more people got out of it down below. More and more people got out of it. Now MACD's turning up. Feels like lower highs. Pretty elevated above VWAP, so I wouldn't be buying it. I wouldn't be buying it. Okay. EOSC, that's one that Dr. Frank likes to trade. EOSC, Dr. Frank. EOSC, EOSC, not OSC, EOSC. Tesla, nice move on Tesla. Tesla with a nice reversal.
Breakdown of the biggest headlines, earnings, global movers, just the trades that matter. As the bell hits and the markets react in real time, opening bell live at the NYSE.
EOSC continues. All right, a lot of stocks running here.
When it comes to investing, you'll love Carl's Way. Take a left here, please. But there's a Carl's Way is the best way.
Tesla. Nice move on Tesla. Back up to the 50-day over there on the right. 50-day is right there. Okay, note the volume. Note the volume. Look at VWAP. Look at MACD. Everything's bullish. Tesla.
happy Thanksgiving to you, Tim. Love to start with a big picture thought on the market action now that we actually have market action.
Okay, there goes Meta. Nice trade, Meta. Brano, nice trade. Nvidia are not participating at the moment.
I get a little repetitive when we kind of get to the market update. I mean, nothing's really changed for me. Still extremely bullish AI. I kind of go back to a week or so ago with the Nvidia earnings, big gap up, big sell off. I just think a lot of this.
Tesla looks good back to the 50-day.
A lot of new market participants.
Yep.
A lot of people trading with margin. They just kind of mix the.
Yeah, EOSC looks good. Right side of the cup is building.
What a lot of people really need to do is zoom out. I mean, you go back to a week ago, and everyone was talking like the world was ending and the stock market was going to zero. And then
EOSC looks good.
And I'm scanning X and reading the financial media, and now everybody's talking, S&P 7,000, and it's like, what changed? Really, it's just kind of that too zoomed in at times. So still a big major bull when it comes to AI.
Amazon still ripping here. Amazon. Okay, looks good. Looking good. Amazon. Oh, you know what? I want to check, make sure I don't have anything expiring today. Nothing. Let's see. Broadcom.
All right, so your first pick today, I'm not as familiar with. I know they just posted a top and bottom line beat, though. GigaCloud Technology, does that tie into why you picked this one or something else?
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of funny. You didn't recognize this ticker when it showed up on my Swing Trade AI Wednesday. I'd never heard of this company either. And basically, I spent about 9 months kind of teaching an AI.
Okay, Broadcom.
Analysis. So basically, Wednesday, this ticker showed up, said, hey, strong fundamentals, strong sector.
Broadcom.
Also a strong chart.
Okay, Broadcom had 170% gain prior to this volume compression pattern. It's a little convoluted, but deep pullback to the 50-day, shallower pullback, another pullback to the 50-day, then breaking out. RSI rising, MACD turning, volume picking up. That's institutions. There's a lot of conversation out there that this is the next NVIDIA in terms of expanding its broad base, sales, earnings. They're expecting more upside. Okay, here comes the S&P back down.
Wholesale for large parcel items, furniture, appliances, stuff like this, mostly in Asia. So it's kind of like Amazon for wholesaling, basically, is what it looked like to me, to put it kind of in a nutshell. But when we look here,
Okay, what else? Nothing expiring today, hopefully. Baba. Baba. Have puts on Baba. BBAI.
So 25 to about 34.45, 34.50. That was the range to watch here.
Okay, Bitcoin fading a bit. Looking for the bounce in Bitcoin. Boyle. I did take profits in Boyle. Okay, I didn't like the way Boyle pulled back recently. Okay, pull back to the 50-day. Buyers stepped up. I just took it off. I had a nice little profit, so I'm done with Boyle for now. CMG, that's one that A-Train, I believe. A-Train, you mentioned CMG on Wednesday, I believe. CMG. Was that you, A-Train? CMG. Follow through.
So bullishness here is how that would typically be interpreted here. Our moving average closest is our 21-day EMA, lining up with that trend line near about 32.50 or so to give us a bit of a confluence. When we assess our volume indicators here, most of the volume is really in this area, between about 27 to about 32 or so, the big clump of trading activity. That would be the supportive area to watch if we were to take a down.
Yeah, we got end of the month.
Two-channel, standard deviation channel, just above 41, 41.18. A snapshot of this point in time where you might find price resistance at that relatively.
Okay, all the New York Times. I meant to look at this before. End of the New York Fangs. Okay. We had this nice bullish channel. All right, it was descending, but a descending channel is considered bullish in a longer term trend. You pull back for a few weeks, consolidate, and then you break out to the upside. RSI is rising. MACD stochastics all rising as well. So this looks good for New York Fangs into next week. Futures pulling back. Futures pulling back.
So it just kind of chopped sideways about the last month and then big breakout. So, from a technical perspective, like to trade these breakouts and then basically risk the consolidation.
Yeah, CMG, Chipotle, I believe was mentioned by A-Train. Chipotle turning back up.
The story behind it. So now you've got that kind of media exposure, discussion of it. It's kind of in the zeitgeist. So when people see these stocks on their breakout scan, they tend to chase and pile into them, which creates that continuation move higher.
And we did just see Raymond James assume coverage with an outperform rating and a $420 price target on Broadcom. So some potential move to the upside there as well. Rick, as far as, that 420 price target for where we're trading right now, just below the $400 level, when we look at the technicals for Broadcom, are we moving in that direction? Does it seem to be?
Broadcom has been the strongest, perhaps, out of these chip maker names. Maybe not a household name, perhaps, but an important one nonetheless. I would say this chart has kind of a similar pattern that we saw in our last chart, but actually looks even perhaps a little bit more bullish here. The reason I say that is we had our initial low here after our gap up from earnings.
Futures continue to see profit taking.
We did make some fluctuations below that point. We held on, but then our next set of lows was above those.
CMG. Okay, CMG looks good. CMG. Into the Kirby. Over here on the left, there's no volume traded in this area. So the prices tend to get sucked up into this zone. Look for it to follow through next week. Chipotle, CMG.
So now when we look here, our RSI study, a very gradual line. You could draw going across these highs.
Yeah, all the solars are up today.
Slowing. I don't like that interpretation as much as I do of just looking at the shorter term view here. From here to here, I think is more important. New relative highs.
Yeah, those are up today, Frank.
Push back into the overbought area. That would be more of a short-term, more important signal, I would say. So that would be a sign of additional strength, as we said earlier. Notice that our 63 EMA lines with our trend line as well, near 3.
What are some of these healthcare stocks? Centene trying to break out. Centene. What's Lilly doing? Lilly. All right, Lilly's showing signs of consolidating recent gains. That's good because I'm looking to get some more Lilly, but I want to see a consolidation first. Lilly, J&J, Merck. These are all doing the same thing. Merck I sold, what was it, Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Probably Tuesday. And we're just watching for consolidation. Merck, plan on getting some more Merck and some of those healthcare names.
It's almost kind of funny to think back to the wild, wild west days of COVID. But, as you mentioned, a meme stonk, as they called them back then. So we had the internet, had new CEO, big breakout, retailers. I mean, retailers have been hot. I've shared American Eagle. Actually, last week's idea, Walmart. I couldn't believe Walmart's up like 10% from last week's trading 360. Pretty wild. But you've got that retailer theme. And then also,
yeah, that's another one, Walmart. I want to add to Walmart. The guy's talking about Walmart. Okay, Walmart breaking out.
Back during COVID, I watch a lot of these, Wall Street bets and X accounts, and it kind of seems like they're trying to get the band back together, as they say, and squeeze this into the end of the year as well. So,
okay, Walmart breaking out. Okay, looks good. All right, beautiful trade. Volume compression pattern on the weekly time frame for Walmart. You get the big gain. All right, so volume compression patterns. This is one that Mark Manavidi talks about a lot. If you know who Mark Manavidi is, he's been investing as long as I have, or vice versa. You get the big run up. Okay, so you get the big run up. Okay, from the breakout, there's a little base right here, right around this area. Broke out around 48. It runs up about 100%. Okay, so Walmart, you can see right along here is where it broke out. Okay, so somewhere around there. Got another little dip, and then eventually it breaks out, right? So looking at this zone. All right, and then you get the compression. All right, you get the pullback. Okay, if this makes sense, it should make sense. All right, so you get the first pullback. First pullback is pretty steep, 25%. Then you get a couple of small pullbacks, from here. More small pullbacks, and eventually you break out. Okay. Walmart's looking really good. Now, the expected move, I would take 20%. So $20 above this 104. So 125 would be where I'd be looking at. 124, 125, something like that. 20%.
So 3 standard deviations away from our fair value line, our linear regression line here. The +2 channel comes in at around 22. Those could be some short-term boundaries to keep an eye on here. It can be difficult to assess these things when it's having such an explosive move, but those would be some ways to consider those factors.
Yeah, and very interesting too to look at their chart. Pre-COVID, Kohl's was trading up, in the $80 range. So to see the significant move to the upside, and we're still trading at about $24.20. Interesting to put it in perspective like that. But Rick, thank you for walking us through the technicals. That's Rick Ducat, our lead chart master here, and Tim Bowen, of course, technical trainer at StocksToTrade.com.
Okay, Tesla will pull back there. Okay, Walmart looking good. Walmart. Walmart looks good.
Sometimes, you could have done better. Same goes for where you invest. Level up and invest smarter with Schwab.
Morning movers, be the first to find out what's shaping early market action. Check, Options Corner, Futures Focus, technical analysis. Morning movers covers it all. Grab your coffee and tune in.
There goes SMX again. SMX, jeez.
Whether you're an experienced investor or just getting started, Charles Schwab offers a webcast that's right for you. The Platforms and Tools webcasts are designed to help you broaden your knowledge of platform features and resources available from Schwab. You'll learn tips and tricks to help navigate Schwab.com, Thinkorswim, and mobile-based platforms. Best of all, you can ask questions by chatting directly with an education coach. It's interactive learning at its finest. Tune in live or watch on demand.
All right, so New York Fangs, Apple's starting to drift a little bit lower. So is Nvidia. Okay.
Kick off the morning with the data and the decisions moving markets. Morning Trade Live breaks down the macro moves driving the price action, from Fed policy to global growth to inflation prints and geopolitical risk. Smart, fast, and always live from Wall Street to your screen. Morning Trade Live, where the markets meet the macro, weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern on Schwab Network.
Stay connected to what moves the market. Download the Schwab Network app and stream anytime wherever you are.
Believe me, when it comes to investing, you'll love Carl's Way. Take a left here, please.
But there's a
Carl's Way is the best way.
Is it? At Schwab, how I choose to invest is up to me.
Exactly. I can invest and trade on my own.
Yes, and I let them manage some investments for me too.
Let's move on, shall we? No can do.
I'll get out here.
So we got a 1 p.m. close. 1 p.m. close. We've got a little bounce coming at the S&P right now. Looked like a little wave of selling, a little profit taking there.
opportunities don't stop when the market day ends. So neither do we. Schwab gives you plus a wide variety of futures markets. All with 24-hour support from trading specialists who understand the ins and outs of 24-hour trading. No matter the hour, you can trade brilliantly with Schwab.
Whether you're an experienced investor or just getting started, Charles Schwab offers a webcast that's right for you. The Platforms and Tools webcasts are designed to help you broaden your knowledge of platform features and resources available from Schwab. You'll learn tips and tricks to help navigate Schwab.com, Thinkorswim, and mobile-based platforms. Best of all, you can ask questions by chatting directly with an education coach. It's interactive learning at its finest. Tune in live or watch on demand. Head over to schwab.com/coaching and start learning today.
Curious about how companies are performing heading into quarterly earnings, or how the macro environment is influencing the markets, or even specific sector performance and how they're faring? Connect with me on social at Marley Caden. Welcome back to Trading 360. I'm Marley Caden here in Chicago headquarters. Let's take a look at where the markets are this morning on our last day of trading in November. The S&P trading about 1/3% higher at 68.37.43 right now. The Nasdaq up 0.4 at 25,340.57. The Dow trading up 0.6% at 47,711, and the Russell 2000 trading up at 2498. That's up about 0.5% so far on the morning. Now,
Just scanning through some stocks right now.
Trading, and when we arrived at work this morning, there was nothing to trade. As the
Not much left to do.
Issue and had to halt all trading of its futures and options products. But now we are moving along here, so let's take a look at some of these futures products. The dollar trading just below the $100 mark at 99.43. The 10-year still hovering right around 402 right now, slightly higher on the day though. Crude oil is at 59.39 a barrel. That's up 1.1% here. And Bitcoin trading 1.5% higher at 91,710, but still well off of those highs we saw in October in the north of the 125,000. Really trying to recoup some of those losses. But Bitcoin has been under heavy pressure. In a very interesting month, the Nasdaq is looking like it's going to be on track to end its 7-month advance. The S&P 500 and Dow should maintain theirs, but the Nasdaq would have to come up about 2% more on the day to correct itself into positive territory and continue that advance. Now, I do want to welcome in Nicole Penelides, host of Opening Bell and the Watch List from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange this morning. We're 2 hours into the trading day. We do have green shoots across the board, but it's been an interesting morning so far. Outside of us not having anything trading until 7:30 Central this morning, what else has caught your eye?
I know, of course, right? You built in on that morning show, just have no futures and have to wonder where are we really going. And that's how everybody on Wall Street felt this morning. There was a lot of uncertainty with the CME issues and the cooling system issues that malfunctioned. That we got past that, luckily by 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, we were back in action with the futures showing up arrows. And these up arrows today have continued the rally that we've been seeing after the last 4 days, since last Friday when Williams talked about the potential of a cut and the likelihood going from 20% to now over 80% to get that cut on the 9th and 10th of December. So that's one bit of optimism. Also, the AI bubble worries seem to have dissipated a little bit with that good NVIDIA print. That's something that was really key. The other thing that I will talk about here is how we are almost flat for the Dow here with this move today for this month of November, because this is going to be
All right, so nice little follow through. Walmart breaking out.
with this move today. Theoretically, the Dow could finish in the green for the month of November, and the S&P's not that far up. It's about 210.
Amazon breaking out to the upside.
Something that Joe Mazzola brought to our attention is just about market breadth, and that 55% of the S&P names are above the 50-day moving average. Advanced decline line 6 to 1, and so market breadth has improved. He also noted 7 of the 11 sectors above 50-day moving averages with 50% or more, including healthcare at 80%, utilities, and also energy at 68%, materials at 65%, and financials at 61%. Also, the stocks being above the 50-day moving average, up 8% in a week. So there's really seeing some action for those names that you know so well, like NVIDIA, like Marvell, and the call And the upside for calls bets for these chip stocks, and Marvell is reporting on December 2nd. So really, you are seeing the path of least resistance, at least for the moment, to the upside. Marley?
Yeah, and Marvell's going to kick off earnings for us next week as one of the bigger companies, but we've got just this impressive slew of retail earnings this week. Abercrombie and Fitch, one of those names, just in the last 5 days, up more than 45% on the profitability and success of its Hollister brand, and they got a price target increase today. Can you walk us through the note from Barclays?
It seems so exciting right now, and I think you said it exactly right. With this big move, 35-40% gains, and yeah, so we're at 98.60 today, and it really has been an incredible move, and there's been a lot of good news. However, the high earlier this year was $164 and change, so it still has 1 year loss of about 35%. The good bright spots for Abercrombie here is that we did see that they had a top line beat, same store sales weren't as bad as
Walmart's still pushing. S&P with a nice bounce. There goes Amazon. Looks good. Meta at the high of the day. Microsoft just off the high of the day.
from the prior year were up 3%, and the forecasts, the lower end of the forecast was lifted, so they raised guidance going forward. A lot of the strength coming from the Hollister brand instead of Abercrombie and Fitch itself. Hollister has been a bright spot in the back-to-school season. The young folks are running to Hollister, up 16% year over year, while Abercrombie actually had a slight down hour, 2% down. So the Hollister brand has been a top thing. In fact, Hollister did a collaboration with Taco Bell. I mean, this is what the young folks want. They want vintage tees, cool hoodies, baggy jeans. They also had socks and all these things that have the Taco Bell hot sauce. Also, Abercrombie is doing a collaboration with an Aspen-based Western type of company.
Oracle still basing down here in the lows with earnings on deck coming up. Walmart looks good.
And you mentioned the price target that we saw at Barclays, and they have a $94 target up from 84. So right now the stock's at 98. So their target is actually less than where we are. However, there are some that have higher, such as JP Morgan has a 109, UBS has 130, Morgan Stanley has an equal.
Walmart have January calls. What are some of these utilities doing? Uranium stocks, they're bouncing. Trade Desk, just some things that are popping up on scans. Trade Desk, still sitting here at the low. Trade Desk. Reddit. Okay, Reddit. RDDT. Reddit. Trying to break higher. Reddit. Trying to do something.
Stay connected to the markets with Schwab Network. Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for Schwab Network.
Reddit looking okay. It's back above the 50-day. Bollinger Band starting to open up. RSI rising. MACD stochastics turning up. Let's see if Reddit can get something going there. Reddit. I have January calls. Reddit 230s. Let's see if that follows through next week. Some of these quantum stocks, QUBT, coming off the low. Palantir. Okay, Palantir.
Welcome back to Trading 360. It's time now for the disruptors.
Palantir didn't do that great. Was looking forward to get back above 175. Oracle, Palantir. I got some calls here that expired today that are dead. That happens. Palantir.
Well, thanks, and I hope you did as well, Marley. This is really interesting situation for Oracle, and if you just look at the chart on this one, it's pretty impressive because going back to when they reported earnings on September 9th, I had followed the stock. I was actually covering it the day of earnings. I do remember the market maker move was around $20, and the stock ended up moving $100. That was basically a 5 standard deviation move. Remarkable, to say the least, considering, again, if you look at the numbers the company reported in September, sales were up about 12%. If you annualize the sales, which are around $14.5 billion for the quarter, that's $60 billion. But the whole movement was based on the tremendous increase in the RPOs, the remaining performance obligations, which were reported by the company to be close to $455 billion, which is significant. I mean, that's a tremendous amount, and that was higher by about 360% based on previous estimates. And so with that said, the stock moved tremendously to the upside. Now, if you look at what's happened since then, pretty remarkable as well, because the stock has been down significantly. In fact, it's given up all those gains and actually come down.
Intel had a good day today. Intel.
June. So we basically have 2 quarters of erosion in price that are gone. The challenge really right now lies in terms of, Oracle being
HIVE, Hive. That came off the low. Hive.
Considering, again, all of those RPOs are really contingent revenues, contingent upon big deals associated with Microsoft and OpenAI. We know that NVIDIA is actually selling a product right now. They're generating lots of revenue, generating lots of profits. But again, we don't necessarily know if all of these deals contingent upon OpenAI being able to fulfill their obligations, which amount to close to $1.4 trillion as estimated, can do that. And so there were questions about Oracle's ability to finance the capital expenditure needs for the build out of these data centers and the hyperscale infrastructure that they're especially going to be being paid on. So with that said, if you look at some of the news that's been going on recently with Oracle, they are looking to secure another $38 billion in loans to essentially build out the data center so that they can eventually generate the revenue from companies like OpenAI and Microsoft. There are some questions about, the price action since September, and also the debt load on Oracle's balance sheet right now, which is around $111 billion relative to the current market capitalization after the stock.
Thinking about adding to Freeport at some point. Freeport, maybe next week. They're coming out of the Bollinger Bands. I already have a position. I just okay.
So with that said, this is an interesting situation where
Got the 44 call for December 19th. Looking for that to continue. Okay, getting there. Freeport. All right, Meta. I do have Meta shares, FBL. FBL do have shares from. Let me just check when I bought these. I think it was Tuesday, right? Few trades. 11:25. What was that? That was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday. Bought some FBL. Looking for Meta to continue. We have that 5-day reversal. We've been looking at the stocks above the 20-day. That reversed 5 days ago. With most stocks doing the same thing, reversing 5 days ago, giving you a good confirmation across the board, across sectors. Many stocks were oversold.
So Microsoft also. So with the news around Oracle, there's a possibility we do see some backfill. In other words, some big moves from algorithms and institutions back into Oracle. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to structure a bullish trade.
EOSC looking for that to move back to the highs.
So I'm going to go out to December with 21 days under the conditions or assumption that there is some rotation back into Oracle. I'm going to structure a bull call spread by buying the $200 call option and then selling the 220 call against it. So you have, 21st of December, third week of December. Altogether, this would cost you about $8 a share, $800 a contract debit. So in essence, the stock has to move higher for this to work. 208 is the break even by expiration. but I'm generating, if you structure this trade, a trader would generate
Futures, looking for that to continue higher. We've got about an hour, a little over an hour to go. Hour and 13 minutes.
So, for what it's worth, when you structure this trade, keep in mind that this isn't a stock that has made a trend reversal, but it could possibly do that as the news kind of rotates and maybe some money rotates back into this name as an opportunistic buy for institutions.
All right, we're about $20 off of that level right now at 201.35 right now for Oracle. George, thanks for being with us today and have a great weekend. Now it's time to spotlight Black Friday, of course, our biggest shopping day, busiest day of the year. Joining us now to help us do that, Owen Carr, Chief Merchandising Officer at Spreetail. Owen, good morning to you.
Warner Brothers Discovery. I might just go ahead. I might just go ahead and take this off. It's a profit. It's taking forever. I'm going to go ahead and take Warner Brothers off.
We are expecting this to be a record holiday performance, over $1 trillion in sales, which should be the highest that's happened in the Peak 12 event. What we're seeing right now is that consumers are out shopping, but they are a little more cautious. And I think the retailers have done a good job of stretching out the shopping window. So historically, we've had a Cyber 5, and now we're looking at a Turkey 12 event where a lot of promotions went live since November 20th, and we are seeing customers out and shopping. And so I do think the customers are here. We're looking at record performance, but not as strong as we've seen probably in years past, to the tune of 5 to 12% growth for performance. And Spreetail is an e-commerce accelerator on the big channels that's growing a little bit faster than that, but overall, we are seeing customers shopping. One thing we are also observing, which has really been happening this whole year, is customers are trading down. And so we are seeing customers that maybe historically would have bought a higher price point item. And I'll give you an example. If customers might have historically bought a 2 to 3 person sauna, we're now seeing 1 person saunas, that may be quite a bit cheaper, really rise up in volume. And the larger, higher price point items that are a little slower overall is I think customers are being a little bit cautious. We're seeing a lot of improvement type items that are doing really well, like hair perfume.
I haven't looked at Super Micro in a while. What's that doing? Super Micro. Okay, trying to come off the low. TSSI coming off the low. That looks good.
But we're seeing customers focus a little bit more on lower price point items that are exciting for themselves and being a little more cautious on bigger price point items and certainly travel related as well.
Reddit we talked about. Palantir we talked about. Have some calls that expired today. Don't think we're going to get to 75. Palantir, those will expire worthless, unfortunately. That does happen. Would really like to see Oracle do something. Oklo have January calls. Like to see that get something going too. Or Oklo.
We're seeing that about 60% of manufacturers and brands are pulling back in the number of promotions they're running. So they're running fewer deals this year. We think that's heavily because of tariffs and that brands are trying to navigate this new tariff environment. And how do they
Netflix having a nice day today. Netflix, not going to be enough. I do have some calls on Netflix at 112.25. MP Materials, like to see that follow through. Got January calls on MP. Okay, SMX did almost tag 60 there, right? SMX is trying to tag 60. Very active trading on SMX today. Walmart continuation. Walmart's still going.
I would say we're expecting a middle performance, so not incredibly strong, but not weak. We are seeing strength. We're just seeing customers be a little bit more cautious. The retailers have lengthened out their deal cycle, I think, just to try and send a bigger net out and capture more sales. And we are seeing that that's working. I think consumers are being a little bit thoughtful. On the category side, as I highlighted, I think personal items, personal consumptive items are really doing well.
whereas higher price point items are struggling a little bit. Travel related type items are struggling a little bit right now. But we're seeing things like hair perfume and such, just as I mentioned, really explode in sales. Christmas decor and tree, you never know how much folks will keep buying. Those categories are doing really well. I think the consumer's in the mood to celebrate and trying to do so with a few smaller items that they've done. But we are expecting record performance overall and good, healthy growth, just not as strong as maybe it has been in some years past.
Well, Owen, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about Black Friday. On Black Friday, I'll be in about 9 minutes starting to participate myself in some of the shopping. That's Owen Carr, Chief Merchandising Officer at Spreetail. And coming up next, we've got our 360 around. We're going to spotlight the busy holiday travel season and how the recent government shutdown might have impacted it. That's next on Trading 360. Stay with us.
Trading at Schwab is powered by Ameritrade, unlocking the power of Thinkorswim, the award-winning trading platforms. Bring your trades into
Walmart looks good.
Thinkorswim desktop with robust charting and analysis tools, including over 400 technical studies. Tailor the platforms to your unique needs with nearly endless customization.
All right, so Walmart is doing really nice. Thank you very much. Walmart.
Trade brilliantly with Schwab.
I'm Alex Coffey.
And I'm Jenny Horn. This is Next Gen Investing, where we track the trends shaping tomorrow's market.
From tech to energy, crypto to consumer, we focus on what's driving investor sentiment right now.
Clear analysis and forward-looking market coverage every trading day.
This is a make or break level for this stock. That could certainly be a short to near-term catalyst.
Next Gen Investing, 1 p.m. Eastern.
When the casinos also, we noted those, and the builders. Let's see what builders look like. DHI early in the week. All right, builders still going.
Days. We saw all these issues with air traffic control. How did that impact holiday travel, if at all?
It certainly does. Even before the shutdown, we were short 4,000 controllers. And in addition to the havoc that it plays with any kind of holiday travel, it makes it very difficult for airlines.
Okay, let's look at these.
Breathing down your neck to keep your flights in control. You can't really expand your business model, and this is likely a situation that's going to go on for years.
And Magda, we saw that it was already strained prior to the shutdown. We already had issues with air traffic control. So what does this choke point mean in terms of capacity growth and profitability and the passenger season as we head into what was yesterday for this current holiday, expected to be a record-breaking Thanksgiving travel and also into the rest of the holidays?
Yeah, so I think pretty much what we are going to see is airlines are going to definitely take some hit from the flight cuts that they were mandated to do during the government shutdown. It's unclear how bad that hit will be. I think we could safely assume that a lot of legacy carriers like American, Delta, and United will probably be relatively insulated from the impact of those cuts, just because they have a more diverse business model, and they were also still operating international flights, which were largely not impacted by those cuts. As for the future, I do think that there is a growing concern in the airline industry that these government shutdowns are going to be a recurring event, and they don't want to be caught in the middle of them having to, suddenly.
Okay, these look good. DHI. Let's look at Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers following through. Beazer Homes, BZH, KBH, Nail, the ETF. I know Dr. Frank likes to trade Nail, XHB. Okay, KBH, KB Homes, Lennar, Pulte Homes. All these looking good. Yeah, these all look good.
It's not going to surprise me to see a couple of pre-announcements as we go through Q4 in here. The one thing that we're seeing here is that even though there's obviously demand and the legacy carriers are best positioned to deal with that, United and Delta, there's price sensitivity out there. Goldman has a survey out right now saying that they're expecting fares to be down about 8% year on year. Part of that is the capacity constraint, but more likely what it means is you've got a consumer that's price sensitive, almost by definition. they're willing to spend, and I call it the lipstick effect. They're willing to expend on experiences, but they're very price sensitive and they're shopping for bargains, so they're likely to get it.
And with that, fares are down roughly 8% year over year, Magna, despite us seeing some record volumes. Do you think that that's simply supply catching up with demand, or is this a greater sign of what David's saying?
Okay, looking for another break higher. We've got about an hour to go now. 1 hour to go. The market's closed at 1 p.m. We got about an hour and 2 minutes to go. Netflix trying to make new highs here. Netflix. Can Netflix make 110? Maybe get out of these calls. Break even.
So I think there's definitely an element of that. And I think also just for the past year, airlines have been cutting down domestic capacity quite a bit just because it's been underperforming a lot more.
What are you thinking for this season? 5 shares of NVIDIA. 5 shares of NVIDIA? Yeah. Oh, you're in the perfect place for that. It might be a deal. It's down 11% this month.
See you there. New church soccer cleats.
Soccer cleats. We have a lot of sports fans here. What about you?
A Kindle?
A Kindle. That's good. You have very pretty face paint. What are you thinking? Are Labubus still popular?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Stock went up again.
Meta's still going here, looking good. Broadcom looking for a pop. Broadcom.
I think I like jerseys too.
A lot of people want jerseys here. I guess good for fanatics.
49ers action over here.
Jerseys.
Jersey for you too? Yep. I got you. What about you?
The Dyson.
The Dyson.
Dyson.
Like a hair dryer?
Yeah. like the hair dryer.
The hair dryer,
Not the vacuum, right.
Amazon. Yeah, Amazon looking really good here. Amazon off the reversal. Very strong move back above the 50-day moving average. We highlighted this one earlier in the week. Wow, that looks nice. Apple trying to do something. Apple's trying to turn the corner. Apple might be the place to, I don't know. Last time I tried to take Apple at the low, it didn't move. I got the 280s right now. Those expire next week. Yeah, I'll leave those alone. A little bit out of the money right now.
I love it. Next generation of shopping.
Yeah. Well, I hope you all get what you want.
Yes.
And I hope you all shared your wishes with Santa. Yes, hold on, Harry. I'm almost done. I love this.
It's a great day, a huge spread. Our thanks to the exchange as well. They do it right. Have a great long weekend.
And market's up. We got one more hour of trading here to go.
Let's get back to the judge.
1 hour to go.
All right, Carl. Thanks very much. Welcome to the
Meta having a good day. Meta having a good day. Bitcoin, that looked good early, and then it started to fade. Bitcoin stocks.
We'll show you the majors. S&P's looking pretty good as well. There's your full picture. Russell up about 0.5%. Yields down, and that was pretty good for stocks too. Joe, you can answer the question of what you want for the holidays. I mean, the kids had some pretty good answers. You want a Santa Claus rally? A Santa Claus rally.
Dell, I took an iron condor the day of earnings. Okay. I liked what I saw with Dell bouncing, but I didn't think Dell was going to follow through. Doing what I was anticipating, which is always good. Dell. Okay, so this is what I was looking for on Dell. It bounced into Wednesday. I like what I saw, so I took an iron condor on this one. $1,600 in credits, $1,590. So the lower one is a 24 delta. The upper one's a 19 delta. I'm less concerned about downside. A little bit more concerned about the upside, so I sold a 19 delta. I can always roll these up if need be, but I don't think we're going to get above the 50-day. Not anytime soon anyway, before these expire on the 19th. Microsoft looks good. Okay, going down the list, things that are stocks that are actually moving. Okay, the S&P 500. S&P 500. Why do I need advertising? I'm on a pay. I'm on a subscription. They keep advertising even though I'm a subscriber. I hate that. Intel, nice follow through on Intel. I did take some profits off in Intel. I had the 40 strike call for June. Just took some off, reduced my exposure in Intel. Some scuttlebutt out there about some espionage. Carmel, Riot. What's Coinbase? What's Riot doing? RIOT, Riot, off the best levels of the session.
An equal weight rally, even though we own equal weight, just because it's still been a laggard.
Riot.
You're going to continue to see the market go up, but I think you're going to continue to also see this dispersion between the big names that we talk about all the time. And I think, Google, Nvidia, I think that's going to be a favorite hedge fund short, kind of like how Tesla and Uber was. But I know a lot of hedge funds went short Nvidia last week long Google. I think that kind of rotation will continue in that dispersion, which ultimately,
Walmart.
I think that eliminates.
Walmart's still grinding higher. Walmart.
When the market is doing that for you, and so you're just seeing that dispersion. I think with these tech names just continuing to increase.
This comeback that we've had, Steph, over the past week or so has made people a little more bullish, I think, into year end. Goldman's trading desk, John Flood, puts out a report, says the wall of worry has been extremely high this year and remains omnipresent. It's a bullish signal, he says. The S&P 500 has closed on 36 all-time highs this year. The last one on October the 28th. I believe there are still more to come before we turn the page on 2025. This is what an end of year, and you know what, Joe alludes to it too, maybe an everything rally. That's what this could look like.
Look, the market always worries about something. I actually worry when I don't worry because that means that we're complacent. But I think the setup into the end of the year is very positive. Seasonally, on average, December is up about 1.5%.
Okay, so Broadcom is stuck to that 400 strike. We'll see if they adjust those calls higher when Money Magic updates over the weekend. Technology tends to perform well into year end, so we're watching some of these technology stocks. Many of them look okay after the dip. Okay, I got to take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. I'm your host, Cousin Vinny, coming to you from theclosingprint.com. It is Friday, the 28th of November. Last trading day of the month. So we got some JP Morgan, smaller, odd rolls today. So anyway, I'll be right back. Give me a couple of minutes.
That sounds like an everything rally. We have stocks, bonds, gold, Bitcoin. Bitcoins are covered a bit. Gold went through its own bout of volatility. Looks to be back as well. What do you think?
I think, look, the Federal Reserve is going to be in a blackout period ahead of the meeting. So unless there's something that kind of takes away the probability of that rate cut coming in December, then the broadening out narrative, we lose momentum in that. But 52-week highs today, there's 17 of them. You do have Broadcom, you have Analog Devices, but beyond that, you have your GM, you have your Las Vegas Sands, you have your Synchrony Financial, you have Walmart, Welltower, the steel names, Nucor, Steel Dynamics. So it's broadening out. We've talked a lot about healthcare. I've told you, continuing to build the position in the XBI as it moves towards 125. I don't know how Bryn feels about natural gas. I think natural gas is breaking out. I own EQT. That's at a high for a year. That's a trade I think you could look at. And I think also precious metals have come back nicely into play. GLD, which I have ownership, I'm actually looking to add to that position.
Well, there you go. There's your February gold contract up about 1% here. A nice little move. We talked a lot about healthcare, as you said, and Malcolm, we have because it's been the place to be. By far the best sector in November, up 9.5% as a group. Comm services has been just fine too. But it's been a healthcare kind of market. Do you feel like it stays that way, or does it revert back to tech and AI? We're not so much talking about bubble. We're talking about Alphabet getting to $4 trillion in market cap.
Well, I think it's important and also healthy for the conversation that finally another company is taking over the conversation, if you will. So we haven't really talked about Alphabet in the same way that we've talked about Microsoft and NVIDIA and Amazon even for the last 18 months, roughly. So I'm glad to see another company kind of jumping into that race that we're talking about, who's going to dominate the sector. I also think that it's healthy that this rotation shows that there is some staying power for the AI trade. So to your question, I think that more than likely tech continues to be the thing that leads the contributions, the investments into AI infrastructure have really been the thing that drove GDP the first half of this year. It's like half of all GDP spending the first half of this year was all related to AI capex. And so I think it's unrealistic that healthcare or anything else takes over that dominance anytime soon. 8 of the 10 largest companies in the S&P right now are tech names. 35% of all the weighting in the S&P are tech names. And I think that probably carries us through 2026 and beyond.
Kind of a crazy month, Bryn, in terms of tech. When you look at the outperformers, Alphabet obviously is a headliner story. It needs to get to 331.48. We just showed you that. But the fact that NVIDIA was down 11% in the month, and Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft were also lower. This is a trade that, though it underperformed down 5% as a technology group, Alphabet and Apple really carried it. It would look worse, much worse, if not for this Alphabet comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Alphabet specifically, obviously bought Alphabet right after earnings. And I think Alphabet right now, we've all known they've been vertically integrated all along. But as I said earlier in the week, I really think Sergey coming back is a game changer to take out the bureaucracy, to take out the slowness of Google, as Google has just not executed over the past few years. And I think having that founder mentality come back of let's move quickly and let's take out the bureaucracy, you're seeing that in the price. And I would say about NVIDIA, though, I know obviously NVIDIA has traded a little bit down after this last earnings, but just to give some context so we don't hang on short-termism, is over the last 3 years, NVIDIA is up 1,000%. Google's up about, 250, 260%. So, NVIDIA has just been a beast. So, yeah, it's going to rest for a while. What's even crazy is those earnings have grown just as fast as the stock on NVIDIA. So I think it's taking a breather like it did last year. Remember when it couldn't get above 150 for close to a year? We're probably going to enter another time period that 180, 200 is going to be a peak. So right now I have calls on 200 January calls, and I don't think it's even remotely going to get called away. So I'm happy to start selling calls on NVIDIA right now while it's in this consolidation phase.
Bryn, you're not troubled at all by hearing that Meta is going to ultimately switch to TPUs, the tensor processing units, that maybe there is something about the chips that Alphabet, which they started in 2013, are now gathering momentum, and maybe that's going to come as a negative impact to NVIDIA?
No, I think that everyone's talking about chips as if they're a monolith, and they're incredibly heterogeneous, and the useful life of all of these chips are different. And so you can use TPUs, you can use NVIDIA's, the tech stack of NVIDIA. I do understand as it relates to the software. I still think NVIDIA with the CUDA software and their ability with that software stack to continue to be in pole position is going to continue. At the same time, though, these TPUs have been around SharePoint for over a decade.
All right.
It's nice to see another
S&P going to give us a nice close. Perhaps. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Decent day for a short holiday week.
I'll tell you what, Steph, we can talk about the broadening all we want, but I don't think that not you specifically, but I don't think we want the kind of leadership that we had in December, what we've had in November, for a big rally in the market. I'm sorry, but if you get healthcare, materials, staples, and real estate as 4 of the top 6 sectors in December, the market's not going to look that great. It's just not. because those are traditionally defensive, more defensive areas of the market. If you have technology underperform the way it did, you're not going to get a big.
I swear. I would love to see Wapner manage a portfolio and see how well he does compared to Stephanie and Joe T.
No, I mean, look, technology and comm services is 35% of the market. So we do need technology to participate. But technology is participating. Okay, so maybe Nvidia was weak. Maybe Broadcom was weak. Maybe some of the other technology companies are down for the month, but they're up substantially for the year. I mean, look at Seagate. Look at Western Digital. Look at Lam Research. Broadcom, I mentioned, Micron. I mean, there's so many companies that have done in technology that have done so well. So a pullback is okay, but that's why I'm paying attention to some other sectors because they're meaningful. Now, I don't want staples to be leading by any means, and maybe not even healthcare, because that's to your point. They're more defensive. But I look at financials and I look at industrials, and those are more cyclical. That's more tied to the overall economy, and that's why I always pay attention to what is happening in the broader economy, and it's actually doing well. And so those sectors should do well.
Industrials down 1.5% in November. Yeah. Discretionary down 3.5%. Those are classic cyclical areas. Technology down 5%. My point only is that if you are hopeful of a meaningful move into year end, that it can't look like November looked. It's just not going to materialize if you have a carbon copy of what you just got. Now, I'm not suggesting in any way that you will get what you just got. The reason why tech had an underperforming month is because there were AI questions, you had debt questions.
All right, there goes Meta. Nice trade, Meta. Frano bought some Meta about 2 hours ago. Nice follow through.
Which suggests that maybe we have a reversion back to the way we got here in the first place, and that's with tech and comm services leading the way.
Well, it should be. We should have the AI, data center, grid, power, all of that whole food chain. We should be seeing better results from the stocks. They've had a nice run, and it's not just technology; it's all of the industrials that I just met. We talk about, and it's grid and it's power, and all of those things are very interrelated. And so, but the demand is so incredibly strong across so many different parts of that food chain that I do think you will see a rally into the end of the year. And oh, by the way, I think they're going to continue to rally in 2026 and 2027 because I think we're in the second inning of all of this. I don't believe that we're in a bubble. So you put those to the side, those should do well. But if you have an economy that's growing above trend, these other sectors should do well. These other cyclical sectors. And I, by the way, do believe that discretionary is going to play catch up as well. I think you're going to have a great holiday season.
Cruising into the last 45 minutes of the trading day. Just looking over what else is left that I want to manage. I did take a little bit of Riot off. That's probably going to keep going. I took Boyle off. I wasn't crazy about the way that pulled back to the 50-day, just out of the blue. BOIL. I took this off with a profit. Okay, into this strength today. Bought this a couple of weeks ago, right in the 30s, 33, 34, 30, 33, 33 and a half, something like that. So I took a profit there. I just didn't like the way this pulled back just out of the blue. I see other gaps too. So I took that position off, Boyle. TSSI, I might add to this one as it comes off the low. I have an average around 1050, so I need a little bit more upside. TSSI, I took that after earnings and that didn't work out. Eventually dropped down to $7, $7.23. Walmart, I'm planning on adding to Walmart. Walmart's doing well, breaking out on the weekly time frame. Walmart, beautiful setup. Gained over 100% from the breakout in August. Walmart gained over 100%, right? I think that's what it was. Walmart.
weeks. She adds that bondholders' sentiment has shifted this fall as a result of the hyperscaler mega bond deal.
Walmart,
seeing
W.
sharper investor alternatives and
Oh,
shares
since the breakout, yeah.
around Oracle's
So Walmart.
incentivize the company's management to outline a financing plan on its upcoming earnings call. Now, the exact earnings date has yet to be released, Scott, but we're expecting Oracle results to be coming out the week of December 8th. What will be key is Oracle's future debt commitments. Right now, the running estimate across the street is $90 billion over the next 3 years. But analysts are questioning in recent
95, 95% plus or minus, around 100%. Around 100% gain.
Yeah, I have a feeling you and me are going to have many conversations like this over the course of the next 30 days. Less, of course, if you factor in the amount of trading days that are left. Seema, thanks. Malcolm, I come to you. You own the stock. Talk to you about.
And then we have these gains. Since then, Walmart looks good.
Watching the debt, the credit defaults more than the stock price these days.
Yeah, so this one has given me a ton of pause. And so one of my rules as an investor is just when in doubt, don't. And this one has a lot of doubt around it. So I've been trying to find an opportunity to get back into this name following selling 50% of the position across the book back in October. And I've just finally decided there's too much smoke here for me to feel comfortable adding additional dollars back into this name. So we're taking those gains. We'll find another place to deploy it within the AI trade that I think is more likely to be on solid footing, because just the reporting that the information has done around Meta and their creative financing and off-book financing and everything else of their data centers to get into this space in a way that doesn't shake their balance sheet makes me wonder the same about Oracle, even more, I think, because they don't have a direct path the same way that Meta does to generating revenue from those.
Okay, looking for Broadcom to go as well. S&P, we only have about 40 minutes to go, 40 minutes to go. Light trading day for me. All I've been doing mostly is taking some things off, reducing my exposure, just readjusting my trading account. Done nothing with my IRAs, 401ks, investing accounts. Haven't done anything there. Did sell a Iron Condor on Dell. That's doing well. On Tuesday, I bought some Facebook FBL shares, 2 times long Meta. Did buy some Broadcom. That's doing well. Plan on adding to that. EOSE, I plan on adding to EOSE as it moves back above the 50-day. Reddit, I plan on adding to Reddit as it moves a bit higher. Reddit back above the 50-day. I plan on adding to it. I haven't done much today, so I've been looking for trades. It's a slow day today for me. I would take it easy. I didn't take anything on the S&P. You can see why. It's just been stuck in pretty much a range all day. Okay, it did grind a bit higher from the high, from the low, sorry. But I didn't like what I saw on Trace. Okay, hedging flows, gradual up, drop back down, just chopping around. So we did hold the 68.40. We did test it. We were looking for 68.40 test. We got there. This is probably the top for the day. Excuse me. Google, I plan on adding to Google once it finds its footing here. Google, I'm looking at I have the the 320 calls. Okay, so that's probably the high that we're going to see right now, right in this area, 330, 320. Okay, so I have February calls. I plan on adding to this at some point over the next couple of weeks. Google. Warner Brothers Discovery, I just took that position off. I kept hoping for something to happen. Warner Brothers, hope is not a strategy. Kept hoping for something to happen, for this volatility to pick up, but it doesn't look like they're biting at this point. Supposedly, Larry Ellison was putting together a bid. My luck will be I'm out of the position now, and it'll pop on Monday. That's okay. I'm just reducing exposure. I took some Tesla off into strength. Okay, Tesla, TS. I had TSLL shares. Took some strength. Took some into the strength here. These two bounces, I took profits off into strength. I no longer have a position in Tesla. Riot also took some profits off in Riot on the move higher. Riot. Okay, like a lot of these these Bitcoin stocks, all getting a pop. So I took some Riot off. Still have a small position there. Hive, I had some shares in Hive. I was only trading this to keep track of it. One of our members was in Hive, so I wanted to buy some of these. I bought these closer to the 275 zone. I took that off. I let you know, Tony. I'm out of Hive. And Boyle. Okay, Riot. What else? Chipotle Mexican Grill. Chipotle. I did start a position. I think it was Tuesday. I believe A-Train mentioned it. Chipotle. I like what I'm seeing here. RSI is still grinding higher. Not looking for any kind of fast move. MACD stochastics crossing over. Good follow through. It's into the Kirby. Chipotle probably makes it back to 38. First, it's got to test the descending 50-day. It's above the 20-day, the 90 MA crossing up. So that looks good, Chipotle. Haven't done anything there, but I would like to add to Chipotle. IREN, IREN. I'd like to see some more of these energy-related stocks as well as IREN and a few others. Looking for that to get back above the 50-day. Got a small position there. Intel, I did take some profits in Intel. I have June 40 calls. All right, I took those off right into strength today. Intel looking good. There's some potential news on Intel that don't want to really stick around with a big position on in case that rumor is true about some espionage BS. Bitcoin related names, BMNU. I plan on adding to this. I started that, I believe it was Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. So looking for this to follow through with Bitcoin, BTC USD. Okay, so a little hesitation here at the 20-day. Short-term fair value, the 20-day. Short-term fair value is at the 20-day. Intermediate term fair value is the 50-day. That's up there at 102,000. And long-term fair value is at 110,000. So I'm looking for these three levels to get tested. We just tested the 20-day today. All right, Freeport McMoran. I plan on doing something with Freeport as this starts to move higher. I would like to add to my December calls, maybe roll these calls out. I have 44s right now, 44s. Bollinger Band starting to open up. I'm probably going to roll these out to January. Same strike, 44, maybe 45. Like a 40 delta, something like that. NVIDIA, not doing much today. NVIDIA is disappointing. I have a little bit of a loser here on NVIDIA at the moment. NVDX, I bought some NVDX. I'm down about 50 cents on those shares right now. What else? Netflix. I was hoping Netflix would run a bit more. Netflix. Wow. Garden State Mall.
It is a really busy day here so far. It makes sense.
Wow, Garden State.
Friday, it's supposed to be the busiest, but truly, it really is from what we've seen here since the very beginning. Before the stores were open, there were lines that had formed inside this mall. Now, TD Cowen's, that team channel checks, they're saying, look, we think that promotions are deeper. We actually think they're simpler, easier for consumers to understand. By its read, they think that Walmart is executing well, along with Gap and Levi and Ulta. They said Target, Kohl's, Macy's, execution maybe not so good. But check out some of the lines here at the Garden State Plaza Westfield Mall. This is 4+ hours into opening, and traffic is still being metered outside a lot of these stores. I mean, today is forecast to be the biggest in-store shopping day of the year by firms that count these things like Sensormatic and Retail Next. Even if it's not as big as it once was, I mean, check out this foot traffic. We've got stores with lines outside like Lululemon, Skims, UGG, Aloe, Aritzia, and more, and it's really been happening all day. The NRF does say that some 130 plus million Americans will shop in some format today, in-store, online, maybe both. That makes it by far the biggest day of the 5 between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. Adobe expects Black Friday online sales.
Yeah, that area during the holidays is insane.
$1 billion. Thanksgiving Day e-commerce slightly outpaced expectations, growing by more than 5%. Captify says TJ Maxx, Dick's Sporting Goods, JCPenney, Kohl's, and Barnes & Noble are the top searched retail brands online by growth over last Black Friday. And the iBuy retail ETF, that's up about 1%. That's well more than the S&P 500 today. We're seeing shares
Head
of
into
Kohl's
the
and Abercrombie
river.
continue to move higher after both of those names reported results that were better than expected. And there were lines outside this Hollister store, which was the stronger of the two
Yeah.
main Abercrombie brands when it reported results earlier this week. Scott?
There goes Meta. Frano's got a tiger by the tail here. Okay, FBL. I'll plan on adding to that one. Let's see. FBL's doing really well today.
Because you have bought more Dick's Sporting Goods, which is a new buy. And why are you adding more so soon?
Well, the stock is down 11% from its highs, and I just went through all of the details from when they reported earnings, and the numbers were really good, Scott. Their core business is humming. Same-store sales at 5.7%, and that's versus 6.4% last year. So it was a really hard comparison. And they're still putting up really good numbers. They guided higher, and they're increasing their market share for sure.
Meta.
The one problem,
What a move in Meta today, huh? Following through. That's going to keep going. You can't keep Meta down here. There's no way. Let's see what the 60-minute looks like. 60-minute time frame on Meta. Okay, good strategy for you new members. Good strategy. 60-minute time frame. Where is it? Where's price relative to the 60-minute? 60-minute time frame, 20 EMA. That's really all you need. The dotted red line, that's the 20 EMA on the daily for reference. Great setup. You want to be short when price action's falling and the 20 EMA is pointing downward, along with the 20 EMA on the daily. When you get price action to change direction, 20 EMA crosses up. You want to be long on pullbacks. You buy pullbacks. 20 EMA looks really good. Meta sitting a little bit of profit taking now. We got 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes to go. I'm going to take another 2-minute break. I'll be right back.
Scott. So on any given day, you could be down 3, 4, 5%. If that's the case, I absolutely would be getting back in. I mean, the stock is trading at 11 times forward estimates. By the way, so is Dick's. I mean, 11 times earnings, where earnings are actually going higher. And they are also delivering. Gap is also delivering on the comp side across the spectrum, other than Athleta. But nobody in athleisure is doing well. So I think they're going to turn that eventually. But the other parts of the business is key. Old Navy and the Gap brands, Banana Republic, that's 80% of their revenue. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm watching it every day. I'm kind of mad that I sold it, but I made money. You know, I was up 25% in the name. So if it pulls back, I definitely like the story because I think the turn is here for real.
All right, you'll let us know. Quick break. Coming up next, the Kiffin kerfuffle and a financial free-for-all. Decision day looming for one of college football's most controversial coaches. We'll break down the big money on the line next.
KTT. VE. and WGL.
SVIT.
And WGL.
PABS.
And WGL.
BMNZ.
And I'm his mom. Sometimes, you could have done
All right. Meta looks good. Next pullback would be a nice place to add to it. Apple turning off the low. Apple turning.
Trading at Schwab is powered by Ameritrade, giving you even more specialized trading support. Connect with the Schwab Trade Desk, our team of passionate traders ready to tackle your trading questions, no matter how complex. Plus, get 24/7
Apple's turning back up.
access support by phone, email,
Apple. Shorts covering. Look like we might rally a bit here. Apple.
Whether you're an experienced investor or just getting started, Charles Schwab offers a webcast that's right for you. Are you an active trader? Our active trading webcasts are designed to help you develop a deeper understanding
AMD.
options, futures, and more. Best of all,
AMD right up against the 50-day moving average. It either gets rejected here and we put in a lower high, or we get above the 50-day and turn the corner.
head over to schwab.com/coaching and start learning today.
Amazon just off the high of the day right now. Had January calls on Amazon.
No politics, no spin, just the market from open to close and beyond. Streaming 24/7, any screen, anywhere at Schwab.
New York FANG components. Okay, New York FANG. Looking good into year end.
Yeah, when we looked online, I was really shocked. The consumer, in terms of online shopping, is absolutely on fire. This data was not anything that I was expecting. Looking into it, when you look at the headlines, you start to hear about how poorly the consumer is doing, how tight things are getting for them, and we're just not seeing that translate in the data. In fact, we're seeing
Yep, exactly. These financial media outlets saying how terrible the consumers are doing, but yet people are spending. Yeah, let's go take a look at some of these retailers like Best Buy. I know a lot of people who don't have plasma screens probably want them, or rather LEDs. BBY, TJ Maxx. You know what Walmart looks like. Walmart looking good. TJ Maxx, Ross Stores. Bath and Body Works off the low. What's Elf? Elf looks good coming off the low. Ulta. Ulta looks good. Target coming off the lows, double, triple bottom. Target. Yeah, Walmart looks the best. Walmart looks the best. Breaking out on the daily and weekly. Yeah, Amazon. Apple. Intel up almost 10%. Intel. SanDisk, Western Digital, EQT, Moderna coming off the low. Not interested in Moderna. Coinbase. Analog Devices, EXE, and Diamondback Energy. Looking pretty good on the S&P. Let's look at the Dow Jones. Okay, got the banks. Got Disney coming off the low. I closed Disney last week. I closed Disney. Got tired of playing with it. Just took it off the put side. Goldman Sachs, put credit's doing really well. JP Morgan, big move. 3 white soldiers on JP Morgan. Amazon, okay. CBX, Chevron, Microsoft coming off the low. All right. $19 minutes to go. Looking forward to a short day today. It's beautiful outside. It's about 55 degrees, sunny. Just want to go outside and maybe do a little yard work, get some fresh air and some sun. Amazon pulling back in. Meta looks like profit taking. I wouldn't be buying anything up here. You only got a few minutes left to go.
Of consumers in this economy can and are doing. And so I think, Amazon benefits from extraordinary tailwinds that people are discounting, as well as extraordinary execution. Over and over again, they've proven that they're able to do that. And there's no
SMX is still playing with people. SMX. If you're going to trade these stocks, just enable MACD, VWAP. Make sure you have volume set up. Go long when you got MACD crosses. Okay, when MACD peaks, you want to take profits. You can see how well this works. Watch the volume. Looks like we're going to break out here on SMX. SMX. Another halt on SMX. How many times has this thing halted today? Like number 5?
All right, Tom White, thank you for that example trade. Appreciate it. Good look there at Amazon. Coming up, we'll break it down, the breakdown with George Sillis. I'll take a look at Shopify. Plus, Tom,
Gold. Back up to the highs. Gold. $14 to go. 14 minutes to go. It's been a great week. I hope everyone prospered. If you didn't, don't give up. Next week will be fine. We're probably going to get some bullish follow through. Perhaps we'll get some consolidation. We'll be looking for that Sunday night into Monday morning. I'm your host, Cousin Vinny, coming to you from theclosingprint.com. It is Friday, the 28th. Looking forward to getting outside and getting a little breath of fresh air. It's beautiful outside. Let's see how we close. It'd be nice. All right, there goes gold, pushing a bit higher. Gold popping. Apple following through, looking good. Apple. Looks good there, Corey. Nice job. Apple, nice follow through on Apple. Apple ripping here. Apple going. That was a big push on Apple.
total gross merchandise volume on the platform, increasing the horizontals across multiple types of services. But again, Nicole brought up the year-to-date gains, which are close to 50%. And based on those valuations, like you said, it may be a little stretched. And it is also, to what Nicole mentioned earlier as well, it has been trading lower since its most recent high. So that might be, essentially what we're looking at is potential.
Okay, we got 6 minutes to go. 6 minutes to go.
Considering those valuations are relatively stretched.
At the same time, I'll tell you, a lot of the analysts see more positive than negative. We're seeing some price targets here. I saw 180 from JP Morgan, 200 from CIBC.
Hope everyone has a good weekend. The video will be out on Sunday as usual around 2 p.m. So look forward to that. And the watch list usually around 12 midnight, between 11 and 12 on the East Coast, around 8 and 9 p.m. on the West Coast. So be sure to check your inbox for that. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We got a couple of minutes to go. Apple is ripping here.
High tick alert plus 800.
Monthly option. So just 3 weeks to expiration. We're going to sell an out of the money put vertical. The current share price is just above 158. So I went down to the 150 strike put, sold that one, and then against it because we want to stay risk defined. Buy the 145 strike put. So a short $5 wide, neutral to bullish put vertical. You're going to collect roughly, I've got $1.20 credit up there on the risk profile. Trading closer to $1.30, $1.35, so you can collect a little bit more because the stock has pulled back from session highs. But if you collect that $1.20,
Okay, we got 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go.
per spread, what's your risk on that? Now your risk goes up to $380. So that's what I was talking about, the trade-offs. Yeah, I'm risking more to make less on this trade, but I mentioned those probabilities. Out in the December 19th monthly options, that 150 strike put's got a probability of finishing out of the money, which is what you want. You want this thing to go out worthless at expiration, of about 66% probability that that short 150 strike put will be out of the money at expiration.
All right, Amazon going. Everything is ripping into the close. There goes the S&P. Beautiful.
Conservative, still risk defined. You've got some risk on this, $380 per spread to make only 120. But this gives you that area where, hey, if the stock goes higher, stock stays where it is. Stock goes lower, you're wrong, but stays above that 148.80 break even. You can be profitable on this neutral to bullish trade.
Apple ripping here. Wow. Intel going too. Looking good. Nice move there. Okay, we got a minute and 20 seconds to go. Minute and 20 seconds. Wow, look at Apple go. There goes Broadcom. Broadcom breaking out. Broadcom ripping. Very nice. All right, folks, I got a hard stop. Have a great weekend. Was a nice way to close here with everything running up. I'm your host, Cousin Vinny, coming to you from theclosingprint.com. It is Friday, the 28th of November, last trading day of the month. Look forward to seeing you in December. Take care. We'll see you then. Ciao.